everyone. Welcome. I'm in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, everybody, once again, live. No, I'm not really in Phoenix. Today I'm representing the land of the manatee, the Florida mammal. As you can see, this is my favorite t-shirt. This is Marty the manatee. I don't know, he doesn't really have a name. But that's what I feel like, that's what I felt like repping today. Manatee merch that is not mine. But we support manatees on this channel because we're Florida focused, Florida first, manatees of mastery. I don't know. Okay. Just got up from a nap, so, you know, it's always nice to come alive and then go live. You know, it's nice when you can take a nap too. I ate some rice and beans for dinner and some chicken and then took a nice old nap. And now I'm on the internet talking about whether Dave Hollis and Heidi Powell are dating or are they just besties? Are they just besties? How is there room for two besties that are females? Females, oh my God, I sound like one of those alpha male idiot YouTubers or podcast hosts. How can Dave be best friends with two women, both his exes? I find that to be odd, but, you know, modern relationships, you know, it's all different these days. These kids out there, they're all different these days. Not like us old generation millennials. I think Heidi and Dave and Rachel are probably Gen X, right? They're a Gen X. That's a generation that is a little bit older than me, but I'm definitely not Gen Z. I'm in the millennial middle. The millennial. Welcome, everyone. I see your comments. I see that you're here, and I'm glad that you're here. This is going to be a good day. I wore two like this shirt is a little bit too bluish green because my green screen is going insane. So we'll just have to pretend that it's not. So to catch everyone up, if you were here on Friday, you'll know that Heidi Powell did not go to Mexico. That's my sad sound. She did not make it to Mexico. She also did not make it to Hawaii. It's very sad. She unfortunately did not renew her passport in time, despite knowing about this trip for 6 months. She was supposed to go to Mexico with Dave Hollis. Didn't happen. But Dave, being the bestie friend that he is, came and surprised. Not surprised. It was planned. But he came to Arizona and graced us with his presence once again on social media. He did call me though. Dave called me on the way, on the plane, because he likes to check up on the show. He likes to make sure that we're happy with where he's at and following his every move, even though he's off of Instagram now. And he sent us this message, okay? So this is just for Kia's World audience. If you're not in the Kia's World sub gang, just close your ears. This is what he has to say to us.
I love you.
Okay?
I love you.
He loves us. And he's also working on a fundraiser for us. And he wanted me to make sure that this message got out to everybody.
I will slowly buy you a boat.
So Dave is, he's always here for us with the knowledge and with all the insight and songs.
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
I need to raise that audio a little bit more on that one specifically. Anyways, so that was the big update. So then I thought, okay, that's over. Friday night's over. The saga has ended. Dave may or may not make it out of the Mexican all-inclusive resort that he made seem like a prison on the Facebook Live. And he made it to Heidi. How do I know this? Well, of course, it was on Instagram, as with all these things. So let's take a look-see here. And we're going to jump right in. Again. We're going to jump right in. We're gonna talk about the Q&A, and we're gonna show some other stuff. I have a video that is from a interview that they did that I think is very interesting and kind of points to a certain timeline associated with the Rachel Hollis question. I know I'm going kind of ahead of schedule here, but I just want to tease that. Amelia, thank you for your super sticker. A dumbbell. That's what the clown sound to me reminds me of, or the bicycle horn. If anyone makes an oopsie, that's the sound we're going to play. And if anyone makes a good point, we're going to play this. But I highly doubt we're going to get those many in this Q&A. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Here we go. So, actually, that was too far ahead. We got to go back in time. There was... Of course, this this starts in the Starbucks drive-thru, as with all of Heidi's content. It does. Oh, Lord. Okay. We're going to go full screen. Here we go. Audio worked. I checked it. Don't even test me, Ecamm. Oh, yeah. Also, Ecamm Live. If some people have been asking in the comments what I use to produce this magic, it's actually called manifesting.com. I'm just kidding. It's called Ecamm. I put a link, I don't think in this description, dummy. All of the other videos on this channel have the link to, it's an affiliate link, so I do get some moolah if you want to produce using this program, and you click that link and you buy something, you buy the program, or you pay the subscription. If you want to make your own show, talking about whomever you'd like, it's in other video descriptions. So just so you know, that answer is answered. All right, let's begin. Okay, this is the real thing. That was my recording. Okay, ready.
Heidi's drink? Thank you.
Heidi's drink.
Oh, Heidi's drink.
Yeah, we said good morning at 2 o'clock.
It's morning somewhere. Maybe not here.
It's morning here in my head. It was a late night.
Hello.
Dave wanted to clarify something.
Well, we had
Okay, so just to recap. Oh, and thank you, JB. I see your super chat. I will never drink Transform because I'm scared that it's going to give me some sort of heart palpitations just via who I see drinking it on Instagram. But if someone were to send me some, I guess I would.
I am all about getting a free ride.
So free Transform, maybe I'll take the risk. And with that Canadian $2.79, I might have a chance. So thank you very much, JB, and welcome, as always. Okay, and just to, again, recap, they're in Arizona now. This is the day after Heidi and him went live. He was in Mexico. She was in Arizona, obviously, because she has no way to leave the country. We know that for sure now, at least as of yet. And now they're going back on the stories, and Heidi is leading this charge to make sure Dave gets on camera to talk. It feels very forced on her end, I will say, just on my observation.
4 days of birthday festivities that we had to shove into a one-day bag.
One night.
So
a little grab bag. A little bit of everything.
It was an adventure. All
I'm going to post some things from last night so you can see. Because I had a really cute outfit on. That's really all I want to show you. But before we do, Dave wants to do a Q&A.
I do? Oh, I do.
Back with Dave.
To me, it didn't feel like he wants to do this Q&A. But here we are. So he's like, oh, I do? I do. So, I guess what she's saying is he flew in last night. They went on a date night as friends, ? At least he's driving now again, and she's not driving solo while crying and holding the phone and, recording 25 things. So he is not being super safe. He is looking over and, engaging with the camera unnecessarily, but at least he's got, 2 hands on the wheel, it seems. Jeez. But it looks like, again, Heidi's kind of forcing him into this Q&A. And this is on her social media. So for whatever reason, she thinks this is a good idea to open up questions to her 500,000 person community of followers.
I'll put the box right here. Ask Dave anything?
No.
Ask me and Dave anything? Ask me anything?
Anything.
Ask anything to
on
anyone.
your mind.
Okay, ask anything on your mind. As opposed to what? Ask anything on your thigh gap. If you follow Heidi, you'll know what I mean by that. Okay, so here's a wonderful first question that probably was asked by concerned citizens of Dave's community. Here's the first question. Does Dave still see his children? I'm asking this because, and this was not my question, obviously. I didn't even know this was going on until later, because I have many questions to ask. First, the most important question.
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
That's the only question I need to ask Dave ever from now till the end of time. I think because Rachel has made it abundantly clear without making it obviously clear, if that makes sense. She very hints at the fact that she has the children. Rachel has the children full time. She says that constantly in her podcast, in the last several podcasts. And she said, "Oh, whenever I have the children, I have Jeffrey, the dog, who everyone apparently hates except for the children in this family, the schnauzer." When she has the children. And so then she's been including Jeffrey in all of her Rach talks as well. So it's making it kind of doubly obvious that the kids are with her. Dave, she's like, well, Dave's got issues or whatever. She kind of says he's dealing with something, so I have the kids. So they're kind of skirting around the issue. That's why I think people are asking, do you still see your children? And also he was in a rehab program, which he has openly come out with and said he's admitted to going to, which I think is great. And I want to say for the record, I watched back some of the footage, and I don't want it to seem like I don't think that going to rehab is a good idea. I really do think it's a good thing, great for him. I just don't think that he should go to rehab, immediately come out, and immediately be back to doing exactly what he was doing before, giving advice and or saying that he's expert at, the ins and outs of outpatient rehab programs, and he's going to now teach us all the lessons of rehab. I don't think he's quite there yet. So that's my gripe, just for the record. Okay. Let's play his answer. Does Dave still see his children?
This one first, because I think it's so freaking funny.
Do I still see my children? Well, in our divorce, we have shared custody, 50-50, so I have them about half the time. But when I don't have them, sometimes I get to celebrate birthdays.
Add to this, because I think part of what it is, why people think you don't see your children, is because you're not on social media. So it goes to prove that people believe if they see it on social, it's real. And if they don't, it didn't happen.
I've had the best and probably the most quality time with my small humans in the last month and a half. I mean, I've been off social, 3 months, whatever it is. Yep. That time, I've seen them more and had more quality time. Turns out you can have a full life without putting it all on social media.
Who knew? It's so crazy that they're just discovering this, that you don't need to highlight and put every single thing online. It's amazing. I mean, this whole thing is super snarky, which, hey, I'm here for it. But they seem begrudgingly answering these questions as if the people who are asking them are idiots. Oh, just because you don't see it on social media, obviously he sees his children. It's that's not so obvious. Because when you go from 24 hours a day live streaming, filming, everything, stories, to nothing, and then you have the ex-wife saying, I have the kids full time, and then you have him coming back and saying, I was in a rehab program, I think that's a fair question. And I'm 100% thrilled that the children are no longer on his stories every second. I think Heidi should take that and follow Dave's lead here a little bit. Let's go to Square. I want to include my shirt more. I think they're making it seem oh, well, obviously I see my children all the time. It's not super obvious to me. And also, he wrote a book, and in Built Through Courage, a lot of it is about how good of a parent he is and how much he's, he has 4 children, and that he's a single dad, and he's really built his brand, or well, tried to, not successfully, but tried to build his brand around being a father who's going through a divorce, and especially as of late. So not all of a sudden not showing the kids with no explanation, I think is a fair question to ask. But so apparently he says he's got the kids 50% of the time. He sees them, he just doesn't post about it. I don't quite believe that to be 100% true, but that's his answer. Okay, we'll accept it as that. Okay, here's a much lighter question. How's Dave doing? Been missing his posts? I haven't, but okay.
I am doing really well. Thank you. It's a wild thing that there is this, if you have hard things show up or you have to process and work through hard things, you don't want to, but it tends to actually be the place where you can reprioritize and grow.
Too much for 15 seconds.
I feel like she cut off. She knows how to use Instagram, obviously. I feel like she cut him off on purpose a few times here. Throughout these Q&As, but maybe that's just me. So he's saying he's great, he's prioritizing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, very safe answer. Not really excited about anything he said, which is pretty typical for me. He says a lot of words without saying much. Yeah, and the great point. He had a children's book coming out, and we can check on that. Actually, let's check on that right now. I'm curious. Hold up. Q&A paused. Dave Hollis, if you didn't know, he's a writer. He's an author. He's a children's author. And he wrote a book about his daughter Noah, who is 5 years old, and it's based on his YouTube series that sucks. It's not that it sucks that she's in it. And I said that before, that it sucks, and someone's like, how dare you? How dare you criticize a child? And I was like, it's not her fault that it sucks. She has no control over the content. It's Dave's fault that it sucks. Because all it is him screaming at her and making pretend like it's actual content that's for adults, which is so confusing. Anyways, okay. So let's check up on his book. It hasn't come out yet. Allegedly, it's coming out November 8th, which is, I guess, right in time for the Christmas and Thanksgiving shopping season. You can have this book for your children to put under the Christmas tree or as a Hanukkah gift, because everyone knows that Dave Hollis has the lessons to learn for your children. So I guess it's still coming out, allegedly, but we'll see. It was originally supposed to come out this February, 2022 February, because that was when her birthday is, when she turns 5. And then it got pushed to June, which I guess would have been like the Father's Day time. And now it's been pushed to November 8th, 2022. So this November. It's for ages 4 to 8. Here's the cover. There's Dave. I'm Dave. This is Dave.
Unfollow me.
That's what Dave says. Animated Dave says, unfollow me. And that's little Noah. I'm not going to make any more comments about that. Because I don't want to show Noah again. But that's not quite what Noah looks like in real life. Let me just leave it at that. We'll have a full discussion on that in the future, if this book ever does come out. And there's Jeffrey, the poor dog that everyone hates, says he doesn't love anybody. He's a loveless dog. That's where we're at with that. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. We gotta cover all the Hollis news all the time. This is the Hollis News Network, and it's okay because I like it like that. All right, back to the Q&A.
It's a wild thing that there is this, if you have hard things show up or you have to process and work through hard things, you don't want to, but it tends to actually be the place where you can reprioritize and grow.
Too much for 15.
Okay, so that was whatever, boring. He's going to prioritize and grow. What? We don't know. Who cares? All right, the real juice. Here it is. Sort of. Did you and Dave take a break for a little bit and get back together? Let's find out. Heidi will reveal all right now.
Seconds.
This is a longer answer.
Podcast coming soon.
Boo. Boo. So basically, she says, they both say, this is too much to answer. But then they kind of answer it in like 2 questions from now. But like, podcast coming soon. Whose podcast? What podcast? Yours? Dave has a podcast that he took from Rachel. But, okay. So I guess he's going to have her run his podcast because she doesn't have a podcast. She said like a year ago, oh, I'm going to come out with a podcast called Squirrel. I guess that was supposed to be for them. But that never came to fruition. I guess it's still in production, but that's kind of like a lame joke. It would be better if it was a text joke. Production, so you'd be like a squirrel. But it doesn't really quite translate via words. Okay, so is there another self-love summit gonna happen? Self-love summit? Okay. Since we're talking about show up, I have another tangent to go on, but let's play this one first.
Is there another self-love summit going to happen? Yes, actually there is.
It was
too much for 15 seconds.
Wait, what?
This is a longer
Oh, I went back. Sorry. This is
answer.
my recording issues.
Podcast coming soon. Is there another self-love summit going to happen? Yes, actually there is.
It was, oh my gosh, it was so amazing.
I know.
So amazing.
I know. We actually didn't decide to do one until the last day of the summit. And we're like, all right, we're doing it again because it was so... Yeah.
She just cut it off. I have all these questions. Just cut it off. We're going to do it again. And then it goes off. But if you remember, she said in the live with Dave, she made no money. She actually put in money of her own money to make the Show Up Summit happen, the SusCon happen. So she claims that this was a non-money-making adventure for her, but yet she cares so much about her people, she's going to do it again. I don't know how financially that makes sense, but you know, here we are. We're just putting on summits that don't make money because we want to be worshipped and pay money for that, I guess. But, okay, so speaking of Show Up Summit, I have found a weird thing. Now, again, this is a little bit of a tangent, but bear with me. I was watching Rach Talk today, my favorite show on the internet. Okay, so Rach Talk comes out. If you didn't know, Rach Talk comes out on Mondays. Now, the contents of Rach Talk does not matter. Doesn't matter. It never really matters too much. But there was something included in Rach Talk today that caught my eye and made me go down a little bit of a behind-the-scenes Rachel rabbit hole. So, here we go. Interesting shot. Okay, that was not me. That's like the first second when you click on her Rach Talk. Okay, that's the episode, just came out today. It's got 467 views so far. So, like I said, very new. But as you see in the description, she's got some new descriptions. Links. So, okay, that's join her email, whatever. Journal. This is the journal. Now, this looks like a new link to me, right? It's got appfunnelpreview.com. That's a little sus, huh? Sus? Different. It's not like a typical URL that I've seen. And also, she's got a TikTok again. This is breaking news, everybody. She's got a new TikTok, but it's only about the podcast. And she doesn't have that many viewers. And it's very, just recut stuff for the TikTok. But remember, she deleted her other account that had, she made the infamous toilet gate on. But so she's slowly trying to come back to TikTok. Okay, but that's beside the point. That's not even the big, juiciest detail. This, I think, was a mistake that someone on her team that she's probably going to fire now, posted this on the description. Because it's taking us to like a ClickFunnels thing, which would make sense because she just spoke at the ClickFunnels mastermind event with Russell Branson. So it makes sense that Rachel now would have a ClickFunnels. And I don't really know. I need to like research it more to find out if ClickFunnels is a scam or what. I know all of the scammers use it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a scam within itself. But basically it's to target you so that if you'll continuously forever now get Rachel Hollis content coming through your Facebook and all that, because this is like the top of the funnel. I've found some sort of interest in Rachel, and now I'm going to be sucked into the vortex to buy all her journals from now on. So nothing unique to her, but whatever.
Hi guys,
Okay, so this is what the page looks like. Whatever. Okay, you can buy your journal. You have to sign up with your info and whatever. I want to claim my journal, claim it with the universe. However, if I click here, which I think this is also a mistake, this is like her private Vimeo. Okay? And I'm not breaking any rules. All I'm doing is clicking buttons. All right? So here is like their back end private looks like private Vimeo account. And here's some old stuff from Rachel Hollis, like marketing team. And I just want to point two things out. Here, funnel upsell. So if you think these videos that she makes are just, her being real and raw, maybe, but they also label them funnel sell final, funnel upsell final. So there is a little bit of business acumen, a little bit of upselling going on here. So if you think these, I love you, I'm rooting for you, is all just for your own benefit, this is again sort of like, not proof, but just keep in mind, this is a business. She's here to sell you books. She's here to sell you journals, just like everyone else. Okay, but who cares? This is what I wanted to point out. This is an old thing from 1 year ago. They got, I guess, Rachel Hollis shop, whatever this is. This is, like I said, back end stuff. Look at the name of her hat. Not here. What is this? Show up? I thought this was Heidi's thing. Who has trademarked show up? There needs to be a trademark war. Because it looks like 1 year ago, Rachel had show up hats. Who has done this? So she just given up show up? Has Heidi just consumed Rachel's personality? And I will say there are a lot of similarities, but it looks like Heidi's the one taking it on. Heidi does this now. We're going to show this. She does this. I love you. Rachel's done that for years. She does this. This is Rachel's, this is not her own. This is like, I love you in sign language, I guess. But she's done that a lot. Now Heidi does it. And now Rachel has hats from a year ago that say show up. Now Heidi's got a summit that says show up. And she's dating Dave, or friends, besties with Dave. I don't know. Rachel was pretty committed to this show up brand back then, but I haven't heard from it since. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I'm sure the link will be taken down now that I've discovered this. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. And okay, we're gonna be dreamstorming. Brainstorming's out. Brainstorming is old, outdated. We're gonna dreamstorm now. And there's 10-year vision casting training, which is a guided meditation and teaching to envision your best life and create your roadmap from start to finish. So if you wanna read all this stuff, she peed her pants. There's more peeing her pants content, which is what we're really here for. Anyways, this is not a Rachel Hollis episode. This is a Heidi Powell, Dave Hollis episode. I came across this right before I had come onto this channel. So, and you can watch all of these Start Today episodes, which apparently, are just here and are mistakenly linked. So the funnel, the thank you funnel. You don't have to watch this, but this is content you could watch if you go to her video and click on the link. Okay. All right, let's go back. Thank you for going on that journey with me. Thank you for showing up on this journey with me. That was something to behold. But now we're going to go back to Heidi and Dave because we need to find out if they're dating or not. They're dating. Okay, and I see some people are saying that ClickFunnels is not a scam. I'm happy. I'm glad for that. I appreciate that. Join my funnel. Can I get you to subscribe via a ClickFunnels? Because that would be wonderful. That's all I want from everybody. Okay. Now we're back to can you come from Canada? Well, Heidi can't go to Canada, but you can come if you have your passport. Just make sure to check it. But if you don't check it, it's probably just the universe telling you that you shouldn't go to SusCon.
Yes, if you are in Canada, you can join the challenge. Wow, crazy hair day. We have a lot of really great friends from Canada inside of the challenge. You can really, I think you can join from anywhere.
Oh yeah, anywhere.
I'll put the link right here.
Okay, now here's another one we gotta take a little vacation for. Do Heidi and Rachel ever hang out? Okay. Again, innocent question. If you remember when they all got together, and by they all, I mean Heidi and Dave, they made it a big point to say in interviews, oh, we're going to have Thanksgiving, a big old Thanksgiving dinner with the whole clan, all the kids, all 1,000 kids, as they say. 1,000 kids are going to have Thanksgiving dinner inside of our house in Texas. We're the best blended family to ever be blended in a blender. We're amazing. We're gonna prove everyone wrong that, divorce has to be messy and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, we get it. You guys are besties. You love each other. But all of a sudden that was no longer the case. And it seems like things got really sour on everyone's end. And we don't really know what happened. So they sort of address it, not really in any sort of mature way, but they sort of address it here. But I want to go to an interview that they did, of course, in their car from like September, because this answer did not seem accurate. And remember also that Rachel and Heidi have met at some point. They have met, allegedly, according to both of them. They've said that they met, and Rachel said at one point, oh, Heidi's so sweet. She's so nice. And I'm totally, what'd she say? Something like, I can't believe that, something in the essence of Dave and I, obviously are so different because our partners are so different than who we are, making it kind of seem like, oh, well, she's so different than me, but it's much better suited for Dave. And it was kind of like the little, yeah, she's nice kind of thing. That's what Rachel said. Okay, anyways, shut up, Kayla. All right, let's watch.
I'll put the link right here.
That's a negative ghostwriter. The pattern is full.
Okay, stupid. Why would she even answer it like that? She didn't. First of all, she didn't answer. She just sat there on camera, and he said, "That's a negative, whatever, ghostwriter or something." Okay, so keep that in mind. So now we're gonna go to a video that has like 200 views that I watched a while ago. My commitment to this saga really does have no end. Okay. Okay, here it is. This is called this is called Heidi Powell and Dave Hollis's Brady Bunch. I cannot make this up, I swear. This is not what I called it. Now we're gonna have to find it a little bit. And ironically, they're in the same car, it looks like, that they're in doing this Q&A that they just did.
So excited.
Okay, and like I said, this has like 500 views on YouTube, so it's not one of the most popular ones. And they talk for 45 minutes about how amazing their families are as a blended family. So we're gonna have to find the part where they talk about Rachel. They talk about Halloween coming up. So this is like September. They're talking about Halloween and how they're all of them, Rachel, Heidi, Dave, everyone's gonna do coordinated Halloween costumes. And they talk about how like so much fun all of them have together and how much they love each other.
Even know was a possibility.
inside of the marriage that I was in, because I thought I was happy. I thought it was a hard marriage, unhealthy a little, but I thought everything was. I thought I was happy until.
Oh yeah, this is an awkward part too, where she's talking about how Chris and her broke up while Dave sits there and just stares into the camera. So let's watch this for a little bit. I think this is around the part where she talks to the Halloween.
I got here and it's like, wow, like I actually get to be who I am, and he is choosing to love me for this person, good and the bad.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, to, a little more fun questions, because I know how you both just adore the other. What is your biggest pet peeve with the other one?
Do you remember when this got brought up? Shoot, in this car, like I was sitting here, he was sitting there, and our camera guy in the back was like asking us random questions, and he said, all right, Dave, what's your biggest pet peeve about Heidi? And I don't even remember what it was, but he blurted out something that I'd never heard before. And I'm like, why are you telling the world and not me? What was it?
It was in long distance relationship. Yes. We have talked on the phone more in the last year than I have in the previous 40 of my entire life. But I love talking on the phone. My pet peeve was this woman loves Starbucks as much as any human on this planet. And what my pet peeve was is that a phone would ring, she would say hello, and then would say, hold on just 1 second, I have to order. And I was like, you could have called me just after the order. It would have just been fine. But it was a thing because I hadn't said it ahead of time that got me in the doghouse. And I don't blame you. I am rude that way.
Oh my God.
Wait, have I said what my biggest pet peeve is?
What's your biggest pet peeve of mine?
I don't know.
Let's go. Come on, drag me right here in front of everyone.
Come on, Heidi.
You know what? I think just connected to that. Okay, I can say this, but we're learning. I don't even know if it's called a pet peeve.
Here we go.
I think.
Dave, ready.
I would have to say it's that sometimes I don't know how you feel about something until later, right? And so we're learning to bring things up sooner. So kind of like, I mean, that coffee thing was great. Like I've been doing this for a year and I didn't find out for a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the other night, remember you were a little bit frustrated about something and I didn't know until 5 hours later. And I'm like, man, I would have changed how I approached it.
No, this is, by the way, though, this is one of those things where there's muscle memory that you have in relationships from your past. And right, like Rachel and I talked all the time when we were married about the fact that we were codependent in not liking to bring things up with each other and not being confrontational. And as you try to examine, okay, hey, what learning can I take out of the relationship that didn't end up the way that I wanted? This was one of those things of you have to be comfortable to speak your mind when something comes up. And I am still that is a rusty muscle. It's not a thing that I am every single day comfortable with. And so,
and on the flip side, Chris and I brought up everything.
Yeah.
There wasn't a thing that Chris and I didn't bring up.
No,
Isn't this a little weird how they both talk about their husband and wife so openly and much together while talking about how great their relationship is? And I believe, again, I think this is around the part where they talk about Rachel and Chris again, so I'm going to keep playing it. But it's also a good reminder of someone asked what year this is from. This is from September 9th, 2021. So obviously less than a year ago. That's how fast this has gone. This is September 9th, 2021. And the first comment was, I think Tooth Seeker was in here earlier. I honestly can't stomach these people. 9 likes. And cringe. So this was not a very highly regarded video, just FYI. Okay.
By the way, I'm not yet used to the ease with which she is comfortable bringing things up, because I'm like, is something always wrong? What have I done? What is it? But that's just right. We are on opposite ends of a spectrum, and we're trying to come closer and closer to each other, where she is really comfortable with radical candor, a thing that I love in an office setting, but I've never experienced in a personal relationship.
Radical candor, is that my hashtag?
Yeah, there's a great book by Kim Scott.
Is it called Radical
It's called Radical Candor. It's amazing, but I've talked about it in business, but I've never employed it in a personal romantic relationship. And in part, it's because here's the thing. I am someone who plays a little bit more by ear, and she is far more a planner. She is someone who, like, if
is this a sharp left turn? Are we now going?
Okay, this part, okay, I know we're like sort of now reviewing this interview, which someone said, what is this person? I have no idea. I don't think they know. Like, they probably got an email. This random woman's like, hi, can I interview you for my YouTube channel that has 154 subscribers? And they're like, sure, we won't do no checking at all of who you are. That's why I think he'll come on the channel, maybe. But I remember this part too. This is like a very just odd interview that they gave. So I'm kind of enjoying watching it. So I hope, let me know if you want me to move on quickly or not, because this is sort of, it was eye-opening to me back then.
No. There's no turns here. But this is one of those. This is just an example of like our wiring, our ways are just different. Like we're different
in the best way.
But those things tend to balance each other out in really beautiful ways as they help bring us both into somewhat of a like neutral, a more neutral spot of understanding. Yeah. But it just takes work.
You're right. And the planning thing, for example, to me, everything is a big deal. And I have a hard time identifying what's not a big deal and what I shouldn't worry about. And Dave is very much like, nothing matters. Like, nothing's a big deal.
We're together, Heidi. It's okay.
So,
we'll be fine.
He does calm me down in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I like light a fire for him in a lot of ways.
And
what is happening in January of 2022? We have not figured it out yet. I'm like, I don't know what's happening on Tuesday next week. I can't get that far.
I don't even know what's happening at 4:00 today.
I don't.
Right. Like I at this point, I'm taking my life 1 hour at a time. Some days it's 15-minute segments at a time, baby steps.
Yeah.
So, you guys are, public figures. You have such a huge following, but if you both had, and I know you guys have many friends that are also public figures, but putting you on the spot, if you both had to choose one person that is your favorite person to follow.
Okay, I don't care. Let's find the Rachel part.
Every day, and it's only him. I'm not even kidding you. That is.
Oh yeah, Heidi says she doesn't look at anyone's Instagram except for Dave's. That was her answer.
Exists in a room.
To learn from or be mentored by.
Okay, we're gonna find the Rachel part.
Be somewhat of a bridge building empathy creator for someone who may not have a shared point of view or worldview. He's able to welcome someone in and say, hey, just walk with me in this and let me help you understand why people are feeling this way or are worried about this kind of thing. Anyway, Carlos Whitaker, Los Wits on Instagram. He's awesome.
I love that. Those are both great examples. And I have to, and this past year, I've gotten that courage too. So my business partner, Abby Johnson, is just one of those people really caring about yourself. So the type of people, especially like Heidi, like you were saying with social media, it can be a rough place, right? It's like, buckle up. Okay. Do I want to check the comment thread? Do I want to read my inbox?
Don't.
And when you're at that, it makes it easier. It's still hard, but when you're in that zone, it makes it a bit easier, right?
It does. I like, as you were saying that, like that gives me chills because I know that's where I am happy, right? Yes. So good. So cool. I think we all need people like that in our lives. Really people that validate that we are lovable and we're enough no matter who we are.
Right.
We don't have to be anybody we don't have to try to be anyone that we think they want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just always be reminded that the people that are throwing rocks are probably more a reflection of what's wrong inside their world than something that is actually wrong with you. And as much.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me when they said they didn't like my shirt. They said it's probably because you're jealous of me. Thank you, Dave.
Because it's easy to intellectually understand, emotionally it's hard to process sometimes, but these are the things. You can't create any kind of impact without also taking on criticism, and that's just part of the price of entry of doing this work.
It's so true.
Okay, thank you, Tara. That was pre-Pancake Gate, so I guess he did not remember his own advice at a certain point. Okay, I promise we're getting closer to the Rachel part. I hope.
And, speaking of saying you're sorry, who is the first to cave? If you guys are in a little tiff, let's call it a tiff or a disagreement, who is the first to cave, to say, I'm sorry, or not even I'm sorry, just to kind of break the ice on.
Who's the first?
Probably. Are you gonna say it? Or am I gonna say it? Probably. Yeah. It's probably the big guy. Probably the big guy.
He's so good.
The big
You know,
guy.
I'm a lose the battle, win the war kind of person. You
He's
know.
I'll tell you that.
Dave gives off that vibe of that guy.
He really is the best man I've ever met in my life.
Oh my
you
gosh.
are.
You were
I'm
so sweet.
I only speak the truth.
You were
Low
so
bar.
sweet. I am so lucky to have you in my life.
I'm lucky. I love you.
Don't kiss me in
I
front of all
wasn't
these
going
people.
to.
I saw you making those eyes.
Oh, I
Goodness
love you
gracious.
guys.
It's like lunchtime.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Well, and
Control
you-
yourself.
So they were in love with each other. I mean, they already told us that they loved each other like a month after they were dating. Now, this is September 2022. They love each other. Now they love each other, but just as friends, apparently.
I know you two, when you're together and you're cozying up at night,
Sorry, go ahead. He's making me laugh
I
over
love
here.
it. This is real. This is real. What's your
Debatable.
favorite Netflix series to
Oh, come on, Reagan. Thank you.
watch together?
Him.
Get to
What's
the
my
point.
favorite Netflix? Is Ted
Prior to being in this, it's been a nice work.
Ted
Series of Breaking
Lasso's
Bad.
not on
like in one
Netflix.
episode?
Right now,
So long.
It's taking us a long
but
time.
it's like
really good.
deep.
Yeah.
You gotta
it's good.
think. You gotta be on your feet for Succession.
Well, okay, so speaking of movies, if someone were to do a movie on
Because
It's the key.
so
Sorry,
I am
everybody.
Cavallari, but I would want
yeah, that's yes,
so
I like that.
I would make them have a baby, and then that.
Right.
And I picked Ben Affleck because he and I both have had plenty of weight fluctuations and facial hair changes over time. And so you can take Ben, that crazy picture of him smoking with a grimace on his face. That was a season of my life. There's then like Ben when he's with J-Lo the first time. That's more skinny,
Can
muscular
we have
me
Ryan
right now.
Reynolds and Ben have a baby? Because Ryan's sense of humor would, I think, fit with you.
I'd take
better.
Ryan Reynolds can play me in anything. He doesn't look like me at all, but like since
What movie are we talking about? Like the downfall of the Hollis girl boss brand on Lifetime? Ryan Reynolds will play Dave. Kristen Cavallari will play Heidi. I could see it. I'd watch it, obviously. Okay, I apologize once again. I swear, I thought this was like within minutes. Now it's been like 20 minutes and they're still not talking about the Halloween escapade.
ability-wise and humor-wise.
Love it. And so have you guys, and I know I've watched you've taken the kids and you've done,
I think this is
some smaller trips, but if you could choose for the 10 of you, like dream destination vacay, where would you go?
I got
All,
it.
Mexico.
all 10.
What do you want? What would you pick?
I would pick Ryan Reynolds taking the trip with Heidi so that I could. No, I'm kidding.
You have to be there.
FaceTime me. FaceTime me in, guys.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry. No, of course I
Where
look
would you
forward
go?
to traveling with 8 kids to a destination. That sounds awesome. I would want to go to. I mean, like the thing is, the beach was great because of the way that they all could entertain themselves. I want to go somewhere that allows them to play and like be like adventure-y
I got your
together.
place.
So like,
I got your place.
what is the place?
We need to go to Dubai. So we did a family trip to Dubai a few years.
I'm having flashbacks. So I watched this a while ago. She's like, we need to go to Dubai because me and Chris went to Dubai before. And it was a great trip. And I want to remake the memories with you because my first husband and I are no longer together. So that makes a lot of sense. Like, let's repeat all the stuff that I did with my first husband.
Back, and we were actually hired by the Board of Tourism to go to Dubai and play and do everything. So they had all of the main attractions set up for us. We got to do a safari. We got to like a desert safari. We went to the largest indoor theme park, biggest roller coaster. I mean, like, it was amazing. There was never a shortage of things to do.
Look,
Kids
all right,
love it.
All right.
It's a long flight.
The flight
worth it.
itself, is a thing that would be challenging. I have a 4-year-old,
Gosh, the
but
flight. Well, yeah, Noah on the flight. I have like holy water on flights. I'm just not a flyer.
Yeah.
No
I
comment.
couldn't do Dubai.
A 17-hour flight with a 4-year-old. That sounds
Oh my God.
amazing.
Oh,
I'm
cute.
sorry, I have to get in a better mood because we're talking about traveling with 8
This
kids.
is the thing that I have to like hype him up for. So when we went to California, I had to be like, we're going to Disneyland. Like, it'll make the kids' lives. He's like, no, we're not. I said, yes, we are. And
It
we
was
did,
such
and it was
a great day, and then it was almost the last day that we were dating by midnight that night. It was like just by a hair did we make it.
Well, God, it's like,
Well, I remember I don't remember seeing it, but I remember hearing people talk about the Disney. They were doing a live, of course, at Disneyland because they're in California, where they were like, she was crying and she was like, "You're gonna break my heart" or something along those lines, and it was like, just get off the freaking phone and enjoy Disneyland. But of course, you know they are who they are. That was Disneyland, right? They went to Six Flags and had a similar experience. Okay. Again, sorry, we're gonna get there.
true. I remember when
You're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
He's not
I'm
kidding.
not kidding. It was such a glorious day, and then
parents everywhere. Like when we took our kids to Disney trip in the world.
Energy situation like that, what it does is it shines a spotlight on parenting differences. And for a couple that's blending families, it was interesting.
Yeah. We get to spend some time talking about discipline and how one does and one doesn't.
But it needed to happen. Like, the thing is, these needed to come up.
Also, just a parenting tip: if you end up trying to take 8 kids literally anywhere, just try to get home by bedtime, because getting home after bedtime,
At 1
especially
a.m.
you have a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just give you the heads up. It's not gonna turn out well. It just is not gonna turn out well. They'll be overtired, all hopped up on sugar, and you're living in a house with a bunch of other people down by a river. Forget it. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God, that's great. Well, so, I have 2 more questions for you guys. One is, most people ask you, talk to me 5 years from now, but I'm just going to be the oddball. I'm going to say 6 years from
Oh, very creative.
now. What does 6 years from today, what does your day look like with you both?
Okay, so let's think about how old the kids are.
No,
Noah's 10. We have a lot of kids. The older 4 are out of the house.
Older 4
in 6
out of the
years.
house. Yeah.
We have the
Oh my
younger
God.
4. We
Oh my
have
God. Yeah.
Ford, Noah, Cash, and Ruby.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
what's interesting is there was a part of thinking about how life might work in a version of us being together forever and getting married and all the rest that had this conventional, traditional brain of mine thinking, oh, well, it has to happen in this way in one place.
Mhm.
And I think that figuring out unconventional normal in our world has us having to consider the way that our co-parenting relationships in different states existing are likely to exist for some time, making 2 states a thing that is likely to be present 6 years from now as much as it is today. And so my immediate reaction to the answer is our day 6 years from now is probably going to look somewhat similar to the way it looks today.
It's true.
In that,
but I will say 6 years from now is a really interesting year. How'd you?
Oh, I was just gonna say this didn't age well. So from September, they should have asked 6 months from now because that's more accurate. They're just friends, and they never wanted to put labels on their relationship, and they don't ever need labels. And labels are for losers. That's what they say 6 months from this video. 6 years, okay. I like this. Let's keep playing it.
You said 5. We would have had to consider more kids. But
wait. Whoa. Hold on. What the heck did you say? She said 6 years is very interesting. Okay, let's go back.
You said 5. We would have had. But I will say 6 years from now is a really interesting year. Had you said 5, we would have had to consider more kids. But my 2 oldest are my first marriage, and my 2 young.
Wait, what does she mean by that? If you would have said 5, we would have had to have considered more kids. Please clarify. Help me. I don't know what she means by that. I feel like it was juicy, but I don't know what she means.
Are my second marriage, and it's a slightly different dynamic with those kids and Chris as the dad, their dad who travels often for work. There's a much higher chance that by that point, we might be in one location.
Don't know. What's interesting when life ends up taking a turn that you do not expect. I used to have a very religious 5-year, 10-year vision casting kind of thing in my life. And maybe it'll grow back, but I am very much in a take things as they come, 6 to 12 months of time in the future, embrace the fun of not actually knowing exactly what's going to happen. Like I'm still interested in fully actualizing this person I've been placed on this planet to be by God, but I don't have the hubris to think that I have either the control or the wherewithal to actually cast a vision for what that looks like. I just get to be excited about having it revealed over time. And
okay, so what I think this means, and what I'm now remembering, is that he doesn't want the labels. She's saying, like, we're gonna live in one place in 6 years, and we're gonna, like, my kids are gonna be, you know, grown, and we're gonna live, and da-da-da-da. And he's basically the one that's like, yeah, like, I'm just living for today, baby. You know, I'm just living my life, my bachelor life. I just got, which honestly I think is probably a little bit more healthy. Not that, I think he should have said that in the beginning, not, you know, this much into the relationship after they've already announced that they're like in love, and she's in his book and all that, the images of her and chapters written about her and all that. Well, a chapter. So it's a little bit like he committed immediately, and then now he's sort of backtracking. But yeah, this is sort of like red flag, like already seen. It's more obvious now, seeing what actually did happen, that they're not together, they're just besties. This sounds like he was the one that didn't want to be in a relationship from the beginning, or at least from halfway through it.
And there's some freedom in that, because I definitely was someone who thought that I know how it's going to turn out, and I know what I need to do, and I know how it's going to happen today or next week or whatever. And once you know that, oh, something can happen that just completely upends what you think will happen, it gives you permission to kind of just take it as it comes, which is beautiful.
Well, I agree with you, right? So I've never been much of a, and this might be a bad thing to a lot of people listening, I never have been somebody who is like, this is where I'm going to be in 10 years, and I'm going to be right here. Why? Because I know that anytime I've said, this is where I want to be, it's more of a, when I get here, then I'll be happy, and I've gotten there and I'm no happier, right? So I have learned over time that for me, joy and peace comes from when I can forecast ahead how I want to feel and how I want my foundational and core values to be prioritized. We've talked a lot about that. Like, I know what I want to be important in 6 years. I know what I want to be important in 10 and in 20. And I know the kinds of relationships I want to have with my kids. I know the kinds of relationships I want to have with the person that I'm with. Hopefully you, right? I know what I want love to be like.
I feel like it's so clear now. Like, hopefully you. I feel like this is reminiscent of when Dave does Ford, or did Ford for Thought, when Dave's like on his phone, and his son Ford, who's I think 9 or 10 now, was like physically putting a hand on his shoulder and saying, Dad, like, you know, he didn't say listen, but he put his hand on his shoulder. He said, you know, telling him about his camp experience. Like, he's trying to physically touch Dave to get him to focus. And Heidi seems to be doing that too. Like, I hope it's with you. And like touching his shoulder, he's like, yeah. Seems like now I'm watching it back with a more critical eye. It doesn't seem like Dave's totally committed to this at all.
I don't know what it looks like, but I know how I want to feel. And I think as long as that is my guiding marker, however it looks, I'm actually excited to see how it looks.
That good answer, guys. Oh, I love it.
Not a good answer.
Well, okay, so as we wrap here, share with us one thing that most people do not know about you, because you lead very public lives.
You don't leave much to the imagination.
You know, one thing that you just think most people,
at least they're self-aware. That's good.
just would not really peg me for this or know this about me. What do you think?
I mean, I think for me, I'm a lot more introverted than I think people would think.
I agree.
Because I am happy to be a ham on a stage or in front of a camera, but I'm actually pretty reserved and quiet when I'm not. And as much as like I can go to an event and run for mayor, I'm pretty like in a.
She's like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, Reagan, we got a lot to catch you up on. Dave is the mayor of Hollis Company Rise Conference because he's married to the CEO and, well, at one point CEO and founder Rachel Hollis. Therefore, Dave is the mayor because he is the man of Rachel. She's like, oh, you're rooting for mayor? Like, no. There's lots of layers to this.
Kind of like a cocktail party kind of setting. It takes a little bit of work for me to want to be that outgoing person. I think people will be surprised by that.
I think you're right. I think one thing about me, gosh, I don't know. I maybe I would say, I know, well, to the world, people see me on Instagram as obviously a fitness professional and a fun-loving, easygoing person, and I am. But also, what I don't think the world knows is I am much more of a business brain, and I enjoy business much more than I like the business aspect of everything that we're doing, far more. And I think that's what my natural born skill set is. Compared to everything else, far more than I do any other part of what I do. And I love everything that I do, but
I love making money the most out of everything that I do. The working part sucks. I had to work for 5 hours last week. Sucks. Hate it. My favorite part about business is the money business. Is charging $4,000 for masterminds and having people pay me to just say, you're a butterfly, babes. Outfit of the day. Oh my God, guys, this protein is so good. That's her favorite part of the day. Hey, I mean, if it works, it works.
That strategic business part of my brain that's, I think, one of my gifts.
You're a killer.
Well, I don't know if I'm a killer.
It's a compliment. You are. You're awesome.
You're killer, Heidi. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, you know, guys, this was so much fun, and I know how crazy busy you are. We've been working for a while to get you on here with your schedule, but I appreciate how authentic you are. You guys are the epitome of the real deal of parenting. And what I want to do is, after we end, I want to link below this for all of our community.
Reagan, no, you're off base. Okay. I'm a dum-dum. Where do they talk? I started at like 20 minutes, and I thought it was at the end where they talk about the Halloween stuff.
Language. Oh my
God.
Okay, let's find it. If not, you'll have to just trust me.
Of being close to Chris or being close to Derek in the
wait.
Joint Halloween costume.
Okay. Here it is. I found it. All right, joint Halloween costumes. Okay, it's around here.
I remember this.
We are, no, I mean, like, because I was not aware of this, but of course, when you get divorced, you split up holidays and...
Okay, let's go back. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me. I found it.
Hello.
Check.
There we go. Perfect.
We're good.
You're good. You're good. And you know what I love, and this leads me up perfectly to my next question, is you were talking about, and it all, you know, both of you said, like, it all stems from respect. But this leads me to what I love. Dave, share what's happening at Thanksgiving.
The circus
did we talk about this
is
on
coming to town. We did talk about this on a live.
That's right.
I
remember this.
We are, no, I mean, like, because I was not aware of this, but of course, when you get divorced, you split up holidays, and this Thanksgiving is my Thanksgiving, and as a part of it being a thing that I will host at my house, it's an open invitation, and
to anybody.
If everything, it's really truly, if you don't have a place to go on Thanksgiving, come on down. I'm hosting, but that means that we're going to be there. The 8 kids are going to be there. We've invited Derek and Chris to be there. If they want to bring someone, they're welcome. We've invited Rachel to be there. I believe she's going to bring this person that she's in a relationship with, and it is going to be chaos central in the most beautiful way. So and the reality is, like, I mean, actually, when I think about, like, how do I find a source for pride in the mess that has now become this beautiful new normal, having Heidi and Rachel going back and forth about a joint Halloween costume that we're all planning for Halloween is among the things where I'm like, yo,
good at this, finding and remembering this dumb stuff? I knew it, okay? Thank you. I knew that they said that they had hung out or they had been talking and they had been going back and forth over costumes. Vindicated. Okay, I was going insane because I'm like, maybe I made this up. No, I was right. Gosh darn it. Okay.
There is something that is working in this. If we can actually find a way to conspire how to make a group costume for our 8 kids, you and I, the 2 of them, I mean, like, we've got something cooked up. And that's not something I would have ever imagined was a possibility 18 months ago when this felt like it was the worst thing in the entire world. So I don't know. There's some beauty in this. And I will say this too. I don't know that I could have ever conceived of being close to Chris or being close to Derek in the way that, like, I just have a respect and rapport with them that has never one time felt adversarial, has never one time felt like I am trying to step into their role or that they in some ways could be threatened by. It's like, no, we're just this complementary. And I'm not saying that it's normal, but I just feel super grateful that.
To me, what is normal?
What's the
normal for us is this.
I also think, like, what's the alternative? Like, the alternative could be combative and nasty and weird. And it's like, man, life's too short. So anyway, I feel grateful for that.
Life's too short, but okay, we can finally now go back to why we even came here in the first place. They make it seem like Rachel and Heidi have never talked once, that they don't have any sort of relationship, that it is crispy as ice, that, you know, there is just not even addressing it, really. So, and we'll go back again. I mean, he doesn't really say anything other than, do Heidi and Rachel ever hang out?
That's a negative, Ghostwriter. The pattern is full.
Okay, so theory time, conspiracy theory time. That interview that we just watched in the car with whatever her name was recorded or at least streamed in September. So Halloween, October, obviously end of October. Something happened between September and October because they did Halloween separately. The families did, and they said, oh, it's because, like, Heidi's traditions, you know, they have so many traditions in the Powell household that they are going to do something at their house. They did not celebrate together, if I remember correctly. So it was September, Rachel and Heidi are going back and forth about having costumes coordinated. And then by October, that is no longer the case. Something happened. Now, I don't know what that is. It could be related to the pregnancy stuff. I don't know, that Rachel announced later down the road. That might have been timeline. That could have been a part of it. I have no idea. This is all excessive speculation. I have no clue what actually happened. But obviously something happened via their attitude there, what actually happened in October, and now the joke saying, like, oh, we of course negative, we don't talk at all. There's no communication between Rachel and Heidi, and she's always like making a kind of a snarky joke about it, like, yeah, right, like, we ain't talking because she's a jerk. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you very much for that super chat. And for that, I think we need to take a break, a little second of break, and just, you know, meditate for a moment on this, that I was able to bring this to life. And let's just have a moment of positivity, okay?
It's giving me life.
You're giving me life. Also, let's talk about some obscenities here.
I will actually do something obscene for you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. So there you go. That was my long-winded conspiracy theory. And let's make a Reddit thread and discuss at some point, because I'm curious. And we can go back and look at the timelines. Because, like I said, things were being presented in a way that, the Brady Bunch was the Powell Heidi clan together. It was a family that was just destined to be friends. Everyone loved each other. There was no upheaval or feelings of distress by anyone. The kids loved each other. The exes all get along. They are just modern, divorcees defying the rules and logic and emotions because they're so hyped up on personal development. And then, here we are back to reality where everyone else lives. So just thought I would put that out there. Okay, back to the Q&A that we are here to listen to.
There are a lot
Okay, why don't you see each other often anymore?
of questions.
That's a negative ghostwriter. The pattern is full.
There are a lot of questions in the box that look like this.
Oh yeah.
And asking relationship status. So here's the deal.
He looks concerned.
I think along this journey, the past handful of months, Dave and I have both realized that what is most important is not a relationship with anybody else, but the relationship that we have with ourselves. So we don't spend as much time together. And I don't even know that I would say that we have a label to what we are, or we're best friends, to be honest. And Dave, honest.
I kept going back because I was like, wait, why is she cutting these things off? Because it just cuts off like before any sort of actual sentence is complete.
But I'm...
What did I do? I paused.
Journey to heal and make the most of my relationship with myself, and also grow in a way that only I can grow when I'm not with a man all of the time, which has been very interesting and awesome. And Dave?
Okay, if that's the case, why did you try to fly to Honolulu to be with Dave at an all-inclusive resort for one day? Like, the logic does not add up for me. If you really just if you're just best friends and it's like really low key and no labels and we're just friends and we enjoy each other's company, why all the theatrics of, I need to fly there and my passport's expired and oh my God, I've got to crash my car because I'm so in a rush to get to the Tucson, Arizona passport office, and like is it just for content or is she in denial? And Dave looks worried.
Same. I mean, I'm working on really focusing on how can I show up best for myself, because that is the way that I then show up best for my kids and every other relationship. But I think one of the things that this year is really kind of like brought to the forefront is how important it is for us to each be complete and whole selves prior
and
to
love to be alone
any
with ourselves,
prior to any attempt to be together as something. And so
it's almost as if all the haters called this out, like when you first got together. Like, hey, relationships are tough. Divorce is hard, especially with children. Maybe you pump the brakes a little bit before you go and claim to be the Brady Bunch 2.0 and, try to hawk a reality show or something. I don't know if they're trying to do that. I'm sure they would accept a reality show if they were allowed, if someone had offered. That's a show that I would hate binge watch every day, obviously. So, like, okay, they've come back to reality, basically. They thought that they were better than everyone else, is what it sounds like. And then they decided, oh, wait, after trial and error, they realized, no, divorces are messy, children are complicated, traveling back and forth to different states every weekend is exhausting. We could have told you so, I guess. So now they're like, oh, we should probably take a break. It's like, okay, well, I'm glad that they're coming to this conclusion. It seems a lot more healthy for the children, the 8 children that are involved in this saga.
I mean, there's a lot of love between the two of these humans. And it's a thing that, until you kind of step back and really look at every single thing, I don't know that I appreciated how important it was to really spend as much time as I possibly could inside of Austin, where I'm building a community of friends, I'm doing great things with my friends. And so it's a strange thing that you think that like one can't exist without the other. Oh, well, if you're going to really focus on being present at home or really focus on community building or whatever it is, that you couldn't also possibly have something meaningful with someone like this. And of course, that's not true.
I think at the end of the day, too, I
I just want, and I want this from Rachel too. I have no problem with people changing their mind. I really don't. As much as it seems like I nitpick on like, oh, you said this in October and this in September. How dare you? Like that is me. But I think that people should be able to change and that should be accepted. But with the caveat, but also, I think you should say we messed up before and this is how I'm changing it if you're this front-facing public figure that's teaching life lessons to other people for money. That's my 2 cents. If you're just a public figure, do whatever you want. Or if you're just a private figure, you don't owe anyone anything. But if you're using your life as an example and you're putting yourself on a pedestal via a stage, via conferences, via whatever, social media, and you're saying, I have things to teach others, if you make a mistake, I think the bare minimum should be, last year when Heidi and I got together, I was fresh out of a divorce. I was very emotionally scarred by that. I was seeking comfort. Heidi and I got together. We're taking a time apart because I went to therapy, I went to rehab, and now I'm changing. They don't ever say it clearly. They kind of make it seem like, well, obviously, no labels. We never had labels. There's no such thing as labels in this relationship. They don't clarify anything. They only tell you the good stuff, they bury the bad stuff, and then kind of like slowly drip it out like what's happening. You have to put the pieces together yourself. I don't think that's beneficial. Because if you were just to listen to or read Dave's book and not watch this saga unfold, you would have got a lot of different advice than what he's giving right now. 100% different cadence, different advice. And I think it's not fair to not explain that a little bit. You owe your audience that bare minimum. But that's my 2 cents. Because I don't think like, oh, they made a mistake so they can never recover. I don't believe that. But I don't think that they should just not say what happened.
I don't think either of us are in a place to be in a relationship, right? Right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want one with anyone else, but at the end of the day, there's literally not a person on earth I'd rather spend fun time with than this guy right here.
I am fun.
He's so much fun. We have a blast. And I just end on saying that he's fun and that's it, but he also is so kind.
Read off of the script, Heidi.
He is so kind and he is so loving. I'm not kidding you. I have never in my life been treated as kindly by a man as he has.
That's so
and
nice.
so yeah, like if I'm going to spend time with a friend, this is the friend I want to spend time with. Period.
Hands up.
End of story. Hands down.
Hands up.
All right.
Okay, and now she's going to talk about a company that's brand new. It's so innovative. It hasn't been around since like 2008. Not that we need to see it. Basically, they went on a date as friends, I guess. I don't know.
Hands down.
Now I'm confused again. So they're both saying like we don't want to be with anyone else, but we're both not in a place to date each other. I think this is coming more from Dave than it is from Heidi, but whatever. They're going to announce it together. Good for them. But some people are asking, I think this is very important to bring up, and we can watch that video. They do have several entanglements business-wise, which is a bad mistake, I think. As a life coach, as a self-proclaimed life coach that I am, and business expert, I would say wait a solid 3 years before you get into any sort of business arrangement with someone you're in a romantic relationship with. And then secondary to that, don't do it at all. If you must, wait 3 years. If you have better sense than that, don't do it at all. I just don't think it ends well, usually ever. That's my advice as a non-married person. Okay. So let's just see. I think it ends.
All right. A lot of Q&As for the day. I think we're done. I mean, Dave has one more he wants to answer about Jeffrey, but it's going to take a minute.
No, not Jeffrey.
Free Jeffrey. Why do they hate Jeffrey so much?
I want to show you guys my dress from last night. Was it nice?
It was fantastic.
I mean, there were 2 options.
Fantastic.
Hold on. Hold please. I love it.
They're just friends. Now he's going to pick her fashion. And they're going to like enjoy fashion together. Not like, oh, you're hot. Just like, I love that dress. Mirror. Okay. And here she is putting on dresses. Okay. Don't care about that. So that's the update, everybody. But let's watch. This is a video that I have been dying to play on this channel, and this is the perfect occasion to play it because it is cringy in my videography point of view, because it's set up like the Vogue 25 questions, and it just comes off as so, I don't know how to even explain it. It comes off as so produced, and they're trying so hard to make it seem like a magazine is asking questions, but in reality, like Heidi and Dave are paying someone to do this for them, which just makes me kind of laugh. So let me find it. And I have not played this on my channel yet. So this is not the true. This is them. Okay. Do I have a new roommate? That's the question. That's the video. All right. Give me 1 second. Now, for context, this was posted October 14th. So around the time frame in which we are having the questionable what happened to the Rachel Hollis blended family stuff, but I don't think they really quite addressed that in this video from what I remember. But let's take a look-see here. We're gonna pass this ad. Oh, of course I'm getting songwriting things now because I'm watching Rachel Hollis content. Okay. Ready? All of our questions will be answered in this video. And like I said, this is about a year, how long ago was October? Someone do the math. October 2021. So obviously less than a year ago, but what, 6 months, I think? So you will see how many things have changed since then.
Do you taste citrus? In that, no.
I don't know. Power of suggestion. All right.
What am I here for? What am I here for?
I just took the powder. I just took the powder.
Should I make that a soundbite? That might be a little controversial. All right, we're going to skip past this because I don't know if it's copyright music.
Yeah.
I hope it's not. If so, I'm going to get screwed.
My answer.
You, the viewer, asked us questions.
Okay, so this is a Q&A before they broke up. So it's perfectly fitting.
And now we, like us,
Okay,
we're
6
going
months
to go
ago.
answer them.
Is the inn really closed? Do you know that? Do you know what the inn is? No. Like our home. Have we closed it to more children?
Ah! See, I told you this was good. Okay. Just the screenshot alone looks like one person's interested in that and one person is not.
The inn is closed, though I did actually have someone send me a note yesterday reminding me that though the inn was closed in the original story, a baby was still born.
Wait, I'm lost. What baby? My baby or Jesus?
Jesus.
Oh.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing.
Door.
There's a key in the door.
There's a key in our door.
So I'm not sure what the answer was ultimately. But it looked like Heidi said, so is the inn open or the inn closed? And he said, well, the inn is closed, but you know, that never stopped Jesus from coming. No, not coming down on earth. That's what I meant. Jeez. Okay. So really unsatisfying answer there, but sort of confusing. Okay. Our key is in the door. They're going to talk about their property now.
The inn is obviously open.
The inn, she's closed.
No babies. We're at our house.
Oh.
This is our house. Ours. I'm really excited. We tore a wall down.
Our house. Okay, so they own a house together.
We are doing some
Entanglement number 1.
construction upstairs because we want a nice bathroom. Dave
And he's texting because he's too cool for school.
needs space in the bathroom. He and the bathroom are very tight. He's always in the bathroom.
All right, favorite toilet paper?
One, oh wait, this is gonna tell us if we're meant to be. 1, 2, 3. Charmin.
Any kind.
What?
Oh. I just want there to be toilet paper. I don't care what kind of toilet paper. I just don't want to look down at the toilet paper in the midst of having a bathroom issue.
Another speculation. I wonder if, well, I don't know. Because this is similarly edited from Jack, who does Rachel Hollis's Rach Talk. I wonder if he edited this because they shared Jack for a little bit. I guess Jack is now officially on Team Rachel, but I'm finding the style to be very similar, so I'm curious. Yeah, so it sounds like this is their house they own together, and he poopies a lot. That's what we've learned so far.
Are you building a new house together in Arizona? I'll let you answer it.
We're not building a new house in Arizona, but we are remodeling a house that we bought so that there's a little more space for the time that is being spent in Arizona.
Because 8 kids will not fit in the rental house I was in. So this is the master. We're taking down all of the window coverings here. We have some cool, I don't even know what you call this on the wall, but
I think it's wainscot.
Cool. There's like a guy in the bathroom trying to work. He's like, I don't want to be in this video with these influencers. He's like, oh God, you can see his foot right there. To be a fly on the wall.
Is it?
I think it's called wainscoting.
Or Heidi's coding. I don't know. But that doesn't, I don't know a Wayne. This is about, oh, it's looking so good. We're going to be redoing the
This guy's like, please stop.
The cabinet or the countertops.
Are you both moving in together? What state? That's 2 questions. All right, so the question is, are you moving in together? What state? The answer is we're going to go back and forth between Texas and Arizona for years.
As long as we have kids
As long as
in
we
the
have
house.
to, yeah.
Well, didn't that just stress you out with me saying that?
No.
I heard a deep sigh.
No.
I heard.
We're going to do it for as long as we have to.
Yep. Who
Okay.
says you have to live in one house? And with 8 kids, having a little bit of space has actually been a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because another thing we've learned is parenting styles. Like, my kids have been raised for 16 years a certain way. His kids have been raised 14 years a certain way. And so to try and blend that with 8 right now, and we're 973 miles away, feels more challenging than...
Specifically 973 miles away. Southwest Airlines told me that. I can't tell if this is the house that she posts in. I can't tell. Because she was in a rental, and I think they moved at some point, but I don't remember exactly. I can't tell via this. But possibly. Dave's also lost some weight since this was shot, it looks like.
Giving a little bit of space and doing things when the time feels right.
100%. Unlock the door first.
It is close.
Oh, it's hot.
Let's go to the box. What was the last item each of you ordered on Amazon? This feels really important for our relationship.
I ordered lotion for you.
You did. You did. And
This is what I spend my time watching. Why? Lotion for you. Okay.
I think I ordered some face wash.
Who's asking these questions? Genuinely asking these questions. Who cares what Heidi Powell and Dave Hollis ordered on Amazon most recently?
Wash. Oh my gosh, this is great. Someone said, why didn't the kids go to the race to your triathlon that you had? He just did his first triathlon.
He did his first triathlon. He didn't complete his first triathlon. There's a great video on Mac Attack's channel about that if you're interested in the triathlon saga that Dave had. God, that was like in the beginning of when all this began. This whole follow their lives so closely. It's like giving me nostalgia, like it was like not an Ironman, but it was a Spudman in Idaho. And the kids did not go to that.
We probably 10 times while we were in Idaho acknowledged what a nightmare it would have been to have the kids there. We had to be at the starting line we had to leave for the starting line before 6 a.m. and I was in the water at 7, but then there was 3 hours of time.
And out of the water by 7:01. Ay! I needed a bunch. But Yeah, he really like him and Rachel both are like the kids are such a nuisance. They always say that like, oh, we went on vacation with our 4 kids. We're idiots. They very much like to say the kids are inconvenient when they actually want to do something fun or do something for themselves.
Time where
Which they probably are. Who knows? I don't have kids, so but there's a reason why I don't have kids.
there was nothing happening except for like a 3-second burst of me passing. And it would have just not been that exciting for them. Plus, I was nervous, and the idea of like having to try and focus on the race while also keeping these kids occupied and happy was more than I could handle.
What is your favorite thing to do together?
I mean, the thing is, our senses of humor are so aligned that just hanging out is fun. So I just like when we're together. I mean, we can watch a show, or we can go sit in the drive-thru line at Starbucks,
which is where we are.
And I don't know, like we have plenty of serious talks, and we've had.
It sounds like people who don't spend that much time together. It's like, what do you do? Well, we watched. I mean, this is what I do with my partner. We watch TV and hang out, and work out together and rock climb together and do certain things, like try new experiences. But when you're fresh, it's like if you're like grasping at straws of like, what's your favorite thing to do together? Have deep talks. Not a super red flag. Pink flag, perhaps. Yellow, green, orange flag. Not super red flag, but kind of concerning. Why there wouldn't be more excitement in the beginning.
A lot of adventure actually in the year that we have been hanging out, but I think we have just as much fun rolling in the car.
Rolling with the homies?
Rolling with the homies.
We are the homies. So I'm not saying what my favorite thing to do together is.
What is your favorite thing to do together?
My favorite thing to do together is not appropriate for YouTube. Just kidding, don't put that in there. I agree with you. My favorite.
That's the soundbite I need. She's so bad. She's so bad. Oh my God. She's naughty.
Favorite thing to do with you is to be with you. Like in a car or sitting in bed, watching a series, or just laughing or joking. Like I prefer to stay home with you.
Yeah.
Way more than I prefer to go out, which means going out and actually doing something enjoyable is going to be that much better. But like when you remove everything and it's just us is my favorite. And I can't say that.
Agree.
My favorite thing to do with you is to be with you. Good answer. Okay.
About many people.
Very clarifying.
2, 3.
Oh.
He's such a
Beat
smart
again.
man. Someone said, who falls asleep first?
Heidi goes to bed very early, and I'm here for it. Actually what's interesting
I am here for it. Reminds me of.
is giving me life. Thing is, I think we have been conscientious of going to bed early, but also we're not getting up that early either. And I'm here. I am definitely here.
We're basically admitting on YouTube that we sleep a lot.
We like to sleep. I like to sleep.
I do, and
Sleep
I
is
think
so
part of the
important.
reason is I was with somebody in the past who didn't sleep that much.
Same with me.
And now that I'm with someone that actually likes to sleep, which is really a good thing for your body, your mind, overall health.
I gotta say, I'm on team Heidi and Dave for this one. Waking up at 4 a.m. to follow your dreams ain't my dream. I'll be sleeping. My dream is to sleep 10 hours a night and wake up without an alarm. That's my dream in life. So I'm going to work at it to accomplish that. And I like how they're throwing shade at, I'm assuming, Chris and, obviously Rachel. So I like that when they throw that in there. Thank you, Scout Hunter Spaceman. Been uploading and oversharing reality show on YouTube. Yep. That's what this is. This is an ongoing reality show via YouTube. And for that, I will say,
I'm sorry that you don't have a job.
Sorry. And also,
$18 stinking.
That's how much it costs to join this live. Just kidding. Okay, let's keep going. This is so intriguing.
I'm taking it. Okay, so another one. Did it take a while for the kids to adjust to each other? Oddly,
No.
not at all.
So crazy.
I know.
They, from like the
And that is what we call denial.
word go, were just down with the idea of like having a new set of friends.
What's interesting too is all 8 of them are so different, with the exception of Maddox and Sawyer.
Yeah.
They're the same.
They are the
human.
same people.
And they
yeah.
need to be, like, Maddox needs one like him, or Maddox would have a hard time.
Yeah.
But they're all so drastically different in a way that they fit together like puzzle pieces. They do. Do holidays and birthdays bring on hard memories of the past? Very good question.
I actually think that there, like for each of us, have been instances at these milestones where we've connected to.
I thought that was my computer, but apparently the editing, they've added in a sad, inspirational musical track for this portion. So buckle up, everybody. We're about to get a sermon via Dave about how hard the holidays are.
Grieving what could have been or what used to be when our family, in what it previously looked like, did in celebrating, or traditions or whatever it might be, that in no way like changes the way we appreciate for what exists today. But I think it's just a normal thing that you're like, oh man, I remember that thing that we used to do when I was in that relationship and we were a family unit that looked like this. And so I think it's, the thing is, I don't even know, because I've only really gone through one cycle of birthdays and holidays. I assume that it probably morphs and changes a little bit as time goes on, but I don't know. Like, I think it's been okay to hold, like, oh wow, there's a little bit of sadness for this version of how life used to be, and gratitude for the way that life is with the cast of characters that it's, including right now.
Yeah, it's funny because
the music's not necessary for that, for the record.
We've had so many people ask us and just assume that it's too soon for us because of what we're going through. And I think in a way, it's such a massive blessing that I met you 1 year after Chris and I started our divorce, like 1 full year. And the world didn't know, but I got to experience every holiday and every birthday once after that death, because divorce is a death. It's a death that you grieve, and a death that in a way, like unknowingly, it sets you free in a lot of ways, but it never, like, it's always painful to think of the things that you loved about the family or whatever, the relationship, and to not have it there. But it's like with any death, like over time it becomes more fewer and far between, like the moments where it hits. Holidays and birthdays, I got to be with you during every first, and I am so grateful that I was so close to my own first. I was like within a year of my first, or I would have had a hard time understanding. I would have had a hard time not taking personally the sadness that you felt. Does that make sense?
For sure, of course.
Because I know, even just recently, like it's 2 years for me, 2 full years. And I just recently had a time where I cried to you and said, I'm experiencing a wave of sadness for what was and isn't. And I said, it's not a thing with you, or
she really does that, like grabbing him, like, listen to me. I'm talking, listen to me, hold my hand. She's not alone in that. That's very, he's also driving, so give him, like, he doesn't have to look at you at this moment. But yeah, they're not really saying much. They're like, how is it hard to celebrate your birthdays and Christmases and stuff when you have this new blended family versus how you had your, traditions before? And they're like saying answers to not offend anybody, I guess, is what they're trying to do. So they're filling in words to say nothing really other than like, it's hard, it's sad, it's great, it's wonderful, it's bad, it's good, and all the things at all the times inside of this world of humans in which we are here together forever in the next 6 months. That's what it seems like to me. So I cannot translate very much more than that. That's what I heard. Hopefully we're done with this because I'm bored.
him. It's just, I have so many positive memories of my family dynamic that existed, that there is sadness
Yeah, I don't see any seatbelts for her, at least.
in that
Or
is
him.
insane, right?
The weird thing is, I think
Oh wait, no, I see it. Okay, seatbelt check. Seatbelt check. She's like, I want my seatbelt. Come on, come back up here. Yep. Okay.
I was conscious.
Carol's like, are you done? These people are so boring. These people bore me.
Just the first time that there was something coming up that
For me,
felt, yeah,
or
well,
for you.
for both.
you,
Like,
yeah.
I think the first time I was listening to your experience,
Yeah.
I was checking, like, oh, am I having a reaction that's centering this
Is it
on me
something
and not
about
on
me?
you,
Yeah.
right? Part because you have such an appreciation and empathy because of having been through it too, which is part of what's been awesome and like complicit in the healing that's happened in this grief journey, because you just like, you have an understanding unlike anyone that I could have possibly been in life with. So it's part of what's been amazing.
My name is Scott Harrison.
Ah! Okay, let's mute that. Charity water. Don't know what that is. Okay.
Man, this girl's giving us a lot of power. My boyfriend hasn't proposed.
Okay. I remember this. All right, let's go back a second. So this is a ask Heidi and Dave for advice question
Man, this girl's giving us
that has definitely nothing to do with what's going on between Dave and Heidi, for sure.
a lot of power. My boyfriend hasn't proposed in 8 years. Should I leave him?
So the music was super loud. It says, my boyfriend hasn't proposed in 8 years. Should I leave him? That was the question they asked him.
I mean, don't ask us.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask unless you guys. You can come on our show that we don't have, and we can mediate with the two of you. But gosh, that's not enough info. What do you admire most about each
Okay. No answer given, which I think is probably good.
other? Your energy together is so beautiful.
What I admire most is that you have an uncanny ability to see the good in everything.
You say you met me when I was broken. I actually say I met you and you were vulnerable, and you were authentic, and you were real, and
Ook. It's my new catchphrase. Ook. You say, so Dave says, you met me when I was broken, which I think is pretty fair because he'd just gotten through a public divorce. And she's like, no, I met you when you were vulnerable, which is also not a good time to meet somebody to start a relationship with and buy a house with, and a company. And a company, say that loosely, they had a fitness challenge together, which is no longer together. It's just Heidi's now.
like you weren't scared of that. And you had even on the story the other day, we had posted a story of you before your try, and you were very serious.
Yeah.
And I can't even count how many comments. Hundreds of people say, I've never seen Dave this serious, like he's nervous. And I get to see that. Like I get to see the side of you that is thoughtful and intentional and emotional. And I love how in touch you are with who you are. And I also love how much he loves me. And you're so good to me. And you're really funny.
Well, I am fine.
You
I
are
mean, like,
really
yes.
And he puts up with me.
All right. So thanks for joining us on Carpool Karaoke. This was amazing. We didn't sing enough.
That's what she thinks is funny about him. Those jokes that are throwaways.
To be honest, for the name of this episode.
Carpool.
Oh wait, it's not Carpool Karaoke?
Maybe it is now.
Where's James?
Maybe who's James? Who's James?
Man, this is making me sad in my heart. James Corden has a show.
Thanks, Ruby. Thank you very much. For that, let's do a favorite of mine. My new favorite one. Actually, yeah, this is a new favorite.
Dave You're talking about peace, aren't you? No, I'm talking about buying my book.
Okay, wait, I stopped at a very inconvenient place in this video. Thank you, Ruby. Sorry for the screenshot, everyone. I swear that was not intentional.
The show has a segment. The segment is called Carpool Karaoke.
And we are gonna get copyrighted infringement now over it.
No, we're honoring it. It's a tribute.
Now I think you need to tell them to subscribe.
Oh yeah. If you like this video, you should subscribe to this channel. Because then every time we put out a new video, you're gonna get a notification, and then you'll be happy in your heart.
Bye, guys.
More videos like this. Can't wait. And they didn't put the end screen on, so I guess we'll never know what videos they meant. So yeah, so some interesting information that they own a home together, but we kind of already knew that. It was been speculated on, but they confirmed it. They don't. Well, he definitely doesn't want new babies. They sort of confirmed that, and that was it. That was like the basics. The rest was throwaway nothings. Sweet nothings. Yeah, so the answer is that Dave and Heidi are friends with no labels. I predict, there's always mosquitoes in this house. I'm sorry, we keep the door open like all day so that little Taro, who's here, say hi. Can you say hello? She only meows when she wants to. She doesn't adhere to the scheduling of meowing. I believe that they will probably stop seeing each other. I think Dave's gonna come back to Instagram slowly. He's already been posting. He did a podcast today where he talked about regrets and how people should have regrets, but then also said this is sort of sad. It's very weird because Rachel just posted a podcast where she talked about mortality, right? And how her friend's cancer diagnosis is making her question, her mortality, Rachel's mortality, and how she needs to live her life more fully, of course. And then in the same day, Dave released a podcast about Grandma Lee, who turned 100, if you remember her. She was a part of the book. He had people send letters to her in the P.O. box. And apparently she just got a bad diagnosis that her cancer is back. So interesting that they both are picking the same topics, whether that's, the universal sign that they're meant to be, or Rachel knew that Dave was going to do this topic because of his grandma. Somehow someone let her know about it. And so she's like, I'm going to one-up him, or I'm going to do the same topic so that he doesn't get all the clout for it. I can't tell which one is which. I don't know these days. These Daves. Rach Talk today too is pretty boring. God, there's this bug on the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, there's a new Rach Talk, but it's not even, I don't think even worth watching. We could, but it's not even, she does it from her podcast area and it's just so boring. She literally is looking at emojis and just giving her thoughts at the new emojis. That's all I remember. She's like, oh, and she's talking about going to Nashville and that her and her boo thing went to Nashville to do songwriting. That's it. And we talked about the songwriting already in the last episode of when we were talking about Heidi and her $4,000 masterminds. These people just, they live their life. I will give them credit. They do live, and they do stuff. And that's something to celebrate, I suppose. They don't just go away for very long. And I guess because they can't, because their livelihood depends on showing up. Let's see, since we're here, people are still engaged. Let's see what else is going on in Rachel's world. Nothing that much. The most important thing was that I could see her ClickFunnels. Let's explore that for a moment more. How about that? That sounds like a fun time. Also, if you're free on Thursday, Cringefluencers, we're talking about The Secret on Thursday. That's our other channel with Camelia and I. If you are interested in live streams like this with two people, what is this? Let's just watch this and see, just for a second.
Remember what your question was, so I'd love to hear what are you doing, what are you working on, and how can I be helpful?
Okay, so I'm Crystal, and I am, so I kind of got to give you a little bit of background real quick. So I'm 35 years old, and I have two daughters. They are 17 and 14.
This is like, okay, this must be old because this is the old office that she no longer owns. So this I don't think is relevant to me anymore. Let's look at her new ClickFunnels. Okay, start journaling today. The 3-step morning routine journal to practice gratitude, stay focused, and achieve your goals. Create a life-changing morning routine in less than 10 minutes a day. You get a 90 daily guided pages for your gratitude and goal setting practice. So I guess you have to buy a new one every 90 days, I suppose. That's smart. A 10-year vision casting training. Guided meditation, I read this already. Guided meditation and teaching to envision your best life and create your roadmap from start to finish. Dream storm training. Break your bigger vision down into smaller achievable steps by identify. Okay, she needs to do a little editing on this. Break your bigger vision down into smaller achievable steps by identify the dreams that will make it a reality. Okay, here's Rachel's journaling story. The practice started with a notebook and a whole bunch of goals I had no idea how to achieve. Like most dreamers, I had all sorts of vision for my life. Get out of debt, be a better mama, grow my business, run a half marathon without peeing my pants. She loves peeing her pants. But I struggled to keep myself focused on my goals without getting distracted by my hectic life. When was she in debt? I don't remember her ever saying she was in debt, except when she did her first Rise conference and she was concerned that it wasn't going to be successful, but then it was. Okay, I guess she has to be relatable. I want to be relatable.
I want to be relatable.
I know. Okay, I was working so hard, but at the end of each year, I'd inevitably feel so frustrated because I was never really gaining traction in any area. It's not what she said in all her books. I felt like if I could just... Okay, let me read it quick. I felt like if I could just keep my eyes on the goal, I would get further, faster. So I tried to create a vision board. That was a fun craft, and it looked really pretty on my bulletin board, but in no time at all, I stopped noticing it, which defeated the whole purpose. One day, I thought about writing my goals down. I invented the concept of writing your goals down. One day, I thought about writing my goals down, and since I was trying to recreate the idea of a vision board, I decided to do something bold. She went bold, everybody. I wrote my goals down as if I had already achieved them, and the results were instantaneous. Instantaneous results. No, really. Instantly, I felt excited and emotional and even a little embarrassed to be claiming big, audacious goals in writing. Some of these were dreams I'd never told anyone, and now here I was writing them down in the past tense, and oh my gosh, what if someone found this page and thought I had lost my mind? There were so many thoughts and feelings involved in that first journal entry, and what I didn't understand at the time was that created a key element in goal achievement: emotion. When I combined the excitement of claiming big dreams in my notebook with my existing daily gratitude practice, I found something life-changing. A joyful, intentional practice that would become the foundation for countless goals I've achieved over the last decade. Becoming a New York Times bestselling author. Running a marathon, which P.S. I only peed my pants a little. Building strong relationships with my kids that I will decide if I built a strong relationship with them, not the other way around. Becoming an opening keynote speaker for Oprah. Well, you know about that one. Being a more intentional friend for my besties. Okay. Wow. All right. Interesting. This is new. Donating over $500,000 to nonprofit organizations that support what I love: women, children, and military and veterans affairs. I'm happy. I've never heard this before. I thought it was a foster children. Now it's, well, I guess that could be included in that. I didn't know she liked military and veteran affairs. Okay. The Start Today Journal is a product that combines both of my favorite morning practices in a beautiful keepsake book. I've watched thousands of people use this simple daily habit to stay focused and push themselves closer to their goals while staying grounded in their blessings each day. The journal also serves as a keepsake, a stack of blessings and intentions, a reminder of how hard you have worked on yourself and for your family. And the best part, each and every person's journal is totally unique to them. There's no one way to dream. There's no right kind of goal. There's only your hopes and dreams and how you want them to be made manifest in the world. The possibilities are truly endless. Okay, so the journal begins with a detailed chapter laying out how to goal set and how to use your journal. You start from a place of gratitude. When you start each day from a place of abundance, a place of blessing, you are so much more able to see where you want to go. She's really using the word blessing a lot in this one. 10 dreams I made happen. Start putting focus and intention behind your dreams by writing them as if they've already happened. The goal I'm going to achieve first. Make it a point each day to go all in on one thing. So what's it going to be? Okay. About Rachel. What is she saying these days? Rachel Hollis is a proud working mama of 4 children. The #1 New York Times bestselling author, motivational speaker, podcaster, and blogger. She has written 9 books, including Girl Wash Your Face, which has sold about 4.5 million copies in the last couple of years. Jeez. That's a lot of girls affected by that book. And Girls Stop Apologizing. She hosts one of the most successful podcasts in the world, which is insane. And I think that's a true statistic, which I just find totally crazy. Like, I've heard the podcast. It's her just talking about her life. How is that? There's no better podcast in the world than that? Where she interviews top performers in business, media, and lifestyle, as well as deep dives into topics like health and motivation. She's the founder of the Hollis Co., a media company which produces books, podcasts, movies, I guess she had the documentary, sort of, social and live events, as well as physical products, all with the same goal in mind: to give you the tools to make permanent and lasting positive changes in your life. Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Rachel Hollis, and I want to tell you about a daily practice in my life that absolutely changed everything: a journal. I, like most dreamers, had all sorts of goals and plans for my life. I had all of these ideas and all of this excitement, but I couldn't figure out how to get closer to the goals that were in my head. So I spent years essentially spinning my wheels. I would try everything. I'd get really excited. I'd go to a conference. I'd watch videos online. I'd try and pump myself up. But the second that I left the situation where the excitement happened, I would sort of lose the momentum for my goal. So then I had this brilliant idea. I thought, okay, maybe I could make a vision board where, like, you take pictures out of magazines and you pin up all of the images that represent this dream life that you want to have. I totally did that. And it was really cute and it looked really good on my bulletin board. But eventually I would stop paying attention to it. It was almost like I didn't see it anymore. I think I was just working really hard on the wrong stuff. So I racked my brain and I tried to come up with something I could do. What was something I could do every single day that would remind me where I want to go? I needed something every day that would help me to focus. And then I grabbed my notebook and I decided that I would write out the goals that I had for my life. But since I was trying to help, that would remind,
like, I'm just like playing an ad that she's made for herself. And it's also like revolutionary. Like, I wrote down my goals and I wrote them down. It's like, whoa. Okay, wait, that's what I want to see. Oh, dang it. I want to see what the goals were. I've seen them before, but I'm always curious what her goals that she's writing down are. Let's see.
As if they had already happened. I wrote them in the past tense. So I didn't say I want to get
I'm an exceptional wife. Well, that's no longer true because she's no longer a wife.
Get out of debt. I didn't say
Rise is the best event we've ever done. I am an exceptional mama. I am a New York Times bestseller.
I want to be debt free. I said I am debt free. I wrote down in my journal, I have run a half marathon. I wrote down for years, you guys, I speak on Oprah Winfrey's stage. I wrote down for years, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. Like, so many goals. Like, the life that I am living right now is because every morning I reminded myself where I was going. I cannot tell you how many times I have been in situations and I have this sense of deja vu. I had this sense of deja vu not because I had lived it before, but because I had seen it so clearly in my mind again and again and again that when I finally found myself in the moment, I was like, oh, yeah, this is where I was headed. I gotta tell you guys something. The first time I did it, I freaked out a little bit because these were goals that I had never even told anybody. And now I'm writing them as if they've already happened. And I just kept thinking, what if someone finds this notebook and thinks that I've lost my mind? Instantaneously, I got a result I had never gotten before. What I didn't know then that I understand now, when you take like excitement or passion, when you sort of make your nervous system wake up.
Okay, I'm bored. I'm done. I'm bored. I'm over it. Uh-oh, there's another cat outside. We're gonna have Angry Tarot in a second. Let's just see if there's anything on this Vimeo page before it goes private, because I'm sure it will be soon. Let's go 3 followers. Whoop. Try to unsee that. I'm just clicking. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just clicking. Okay, let's see what the final final is. So this is their final upsell. Wait.
Hi guys, I'm Rachel Hollis, and I want to tell you.
What's the upsell one? That's what I want to see. I want to see how the journal becomes like a $5,000 mastermind. That's what upselling means. So you get in with the $10 journal, you become a fan, and then you where is it? Our top 5 Rise Moments, San Diego. These are all old. Funnel, sell, final, upsell. Okay, here it is. What's the upsell?
Oh my gosh, I am so happy that you decided to get a Start Today journal. Either the journal that you bought for yourself, or maybe you like upgraded and got the pack so you could share it with your besties or your friends at work, or you're gonna do it in a group. Whatever you decided to do today, I love this product so much and I believe in it. And what's so rad is that the Start Today journal is like everything I have ever made, a response to something that my community has asked me for. So every single day, people were writing down the one thing that they wanted to achieve, but then I started to get the questions. Wait, but how do I achieve it? What do I do? How do I map that out? Rach, what do you do? How do you dream it? How do you write it down? How do you figure out how to get...
She writes it with a piece of paper and a pen.
The big, audacious, crazy goals in your head. I came up with the planner. The priority...
The planner! The upsell is a planner. So you like the journal, now you need the planner. I am enough. But not really, because I gotta write down more goals in it. I'll be enough when I achieve all my goals.
Planner is an entire quarter of you getting closer to your goal. I'm gonna tell you right now.
And she only did it per quarter, so she can sell 4 a year per person. She's got the business mind of Heidi Powell, the business brains.
Priority Planner is not for everybody. This is for sisters like me who we are organized. We want some prompts. We want some detail. We want a monthly calendar.
She's obsessed with waking up early. That's like one of the things that it tells you.
Nice. We want some.
It says, okay, here's one of the things. Meditate on what this should look like for you and try to stick to a routine for the next 7 days. Map out in your daily pages as needed. This can, but does not have to include your daily 5 to Thrive checklist. Oh my God, there's so many rules. What are the 3 biggest, most important things you have going on this week? Okay.
Prompts. We want some
Here's a 5 to Thrive checklist. Wake up an hour earlier. No, thank you. My goal, like I said, is to sleep in as much as possible. That does not equate with my goal. Sorry. Work out for 30 minutes. Okay. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water. Okay. Oh, I love number 5. Give up one category of food. Vegetables. Oh, sorry. You can't see what I'm reading. Here you go. Wake up an hour earlier, work out for 30 minutes, drink half your body weight in ounces of water, practice daily gratitude, give up one category of food. Number 5 is a little confusing. Which category?
We want a monthly calendar, we want a weekly plan, we want a weekly review, we want a daily, like it's that level. The goal that you have in your head, this is a tool that is going to help you get closer. If you are my girl, not everybody is this focused, not everybody wants this kind of detail, but if you're that, like, you know, right now you're nodding your head, you're like, yes, girl, that's me.
Yes, okay, girl, that's me.
You, the priority planner is yours. And because we know that so many members of our community like to do this practice in a group, because they know that they are much more likely to stay focused and achieve their goals if they have accountability. So if you want to create an accountability circle, I created an exclusive offer for you today. Just because you bought the journal, this is not something that exists anywhere else on the internet. This is just for you. I am
on the Kia's World channel. Exclusive.
Doing a 4-pack of planners. So that means either you and 3 friends, or you get your planners for the entire year at the exclusive price below. Plus, I am teaching a course on productivity in the times we're living inside of. But if you can combine the tool.
In the times we're living inside of. Oh God, why do they do this? Inside of. Okay.
With the lesson, and you can do it in a group, you're basically like having your own mini conference, and it's wildly powerful. I put on massive 3-day conferences for women to come and have life-changing experiences. This is the thing I know how to do. And
the conference that she did the last time did not look like that. I went to it virtually. There's a video on my channel if you want to see what it looked like. There was like 100 people there.
This class only exists here. It's an exclusive that I created just for you. Normally the priority planner is $25 a piece. Plus, if I'm teaching a new class, it's like $100, but the pricing below is so exclusive to you guys. So I just want, like, if you're in, I want you all the way in. Plenty of people will grab a journal or grab a planner and go off on their own, and that's great. But we know that when people are in community, especially with their accountability circle, that's when we really start to see immediate traction. Because there's no guesswork, right? Like, you're not like, wait, do I use it?
Yeah, that's the reason. It's not because you're selling 3 times the amount of planners if you sell a 4-pack. I mean, that's the thing I struggle with, because, like, I understand people got to eat, man. You got to sell your books. You got to, you know, convince people to buy stuff. But when it comes to, like, these things that's about your life and, like, empowerment, it's just not, they make it seem like you have to go to the conference to have community. You have to have the 4-pack with the accountability group to achieve your goals. It's like taking people's dreams and hopes for the future and putting a price tag on it and saying, you can't just journal on your own. You know you have to have accountability, and you're the type of person that knows that. You're better than everyone else. You know it. You need to buy this. It's like, ooh, it makes me cringe. I don't know. Maybe it's like a personal issue, but I struggle. I struggle with these sales tactics. I know that they're part of the industry, and, you know, she's a business mogul, but it just makes me feel like, okay, she doesn't, again, these people don't care about us, about you, about anyone. They want to sell books. They don't care if a robot humanoid is buying the book or someone that's a murderer. They don't care. As long as they're selling the book, that's good.
No. I'm going to show you exactly how, because that's what I want. The offer is below. If you want to grab it today, that's amazing. Just remember, not for everyone, only for my high achievers, my goal getters, my people who really are working towards some traction today.
Not for the losers that don't like planners. not you guys, for the high achievers. She got that FOMO for you guys. So that's the upsell. Yeah, once again, I don't think she meant to show us all of this, but it was in her own video, so what am I to do, you know? What am I to do? Yeah. Okay, well, that's about it. That's about it. You know, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. Are Heidi and Dave together? No. Are Rachel and her boo gonna break up? Probably. Yeah, again, like Rach Talk was just, I don't want to watch it if it's boring, just for the sake of it. It was like extra boring today. If you want to watch it, you know, there's some, here's one part, the only interesting part I'll say. She has one of those, like, what color is this? Challenges. Let's see. What color is this? And you're supposed to comment what color it is. I think she's, this is not to be mean. I mean, it sort of is, but it's just to be honest. I think she really needs engagement. Like, she really needs people to comment, because people have been just commenting like spam on the account. And she knows that engagement is going to drive the videos further and farther. So now she's just coming up with fake things to get people to comment. Like, my kid said that this cup is orange, or this cup is pink. It looks orange to me. Comment what you think the color is. So, I mean, like I said, she tries. I give her that. I just find it to be not as mogul as I think that she sees herself as. Like, this is, you know, level 1 YouTube tactics to get engagement on your new YouTube channel. And she's got 177,000 subs and has 400 views or 600 views. So she did take a huge hit after Toiletgate, and she's suffering those consequences, which makes me feel better, actually, because it shows to me that people do care about when celebrities or influencers make a big mistake and they don't apologize in the way that I hope that they would. That they don't just recover and automatically be accepted into the space. So she does look good here, though. I will say she looks like, at least in this filter, this lighting or something, or whatever's going on, she looks like 10 times younger than she used to look like 10 years ago, which is kind of interesting. She also says she's a music nerd again. That was the other part. Let's just see. This one.
I don't like it, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, these are the rules and I'm following the rules. So for like 18 months or however long it's been, I've been like, dang, I cannot wait until we don't have to wear masks on planes.
Oh, yeah. She was saying that she didn't want to wear, she's glad that the masks are no longer. I like wearing my mask on a plane. Okay. You've convinced me. Let's just watch it. Okay, whatever. Fine.
All right, that looks a little better. Yeah? There's a door. It's not the best. Okay, all right, that looks a little better. Maybe? Problem is that I need to have this in. Oh gosh. Oh, there's no card.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
wait, let's just double check. Hello, that is me. I'm trying not to do it with headphones on, because this, shocking as it may be for you to discover, is in fact this week's episode of Rach Talk. I know what you're thinking. Where is the background? Where is the setup? Where's Jack? Not here. Jack is on the road. He is coming back from a trip, and that meant that in order to do a Rach Talk this week, your girl had to fly solo, which is why we're here and why it looks like this and why I've spent 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get the right lighting. And I don't know if Jack's going to be happy with what I've come up with, but this is what it is. And I did move the chair in order to accommodate. And I will tell you, I definitely like pulled my shoulder out. And I can't help it. Oh my, it's just, sorry. This is like the least fun.
I told you, right? I warned everybody. But everyone's still here, so I didn't want to go off yet. I like when we're all still watching. But this is like the whole thing.
You know what it makes me think of? Do y'all remember that song for the 90s? I think it was Tim McGraw. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Remember he's like,
I remember that song, and we're gonna skip over it because it's copyrighted on here. But I remember if you were in the South, that song was, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. We got the flavor down at Applebee's. I like it, I love it. That one. And then also speaking of chain restaurant songs, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's, baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. So that's my country. That's my songwriting for the day. I mean, I didn't write those songs. I'm just repeating them. But that's what that reminded me of.
Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for listening, and you're welcome for my singing voice. We're at home today, guys. Rach Talk is here at home in my office.
Thank you, Scout Hunter Spaceman, for the love and the super sticker. You're saying goodbye? Are you leaving? But what about
Rach?
What about Rach? We haven't even talked about
My boyfriend boofing.
He's coming up, so if you're ready, that's coming very shortly.
And the production list is written on this orange Post-it for us to talk about today. I am having like a back moment. I definitely did something to my back. And I'm sorry that you have to be witness to me trying to figure out what I've done to my back. But the pillow helped. Thank you for your patience.
It's been 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Oh, let's begin with, I recently went on a trip from Austin, Texas to Boise, Idaho. And
I believe that was for, like I said, the ClickFunnels event with Russell Branson. She proclaimed in her journal that she would never speak on someone else's stage again, but you know, times are tough, so you gotta shill your message on other stages for that sweet cash. So now she's gone back on her promise to herself, but which is fine, whatever, let people live. But she spoke, I think I think that's what she's mentioning, unless she was on some other stage that I'm unaware of. But she posted about Russell Branson's ClickFunnels mastermind group thing that she was speaking at.
I think that when you live in Austin, where it is currently overcast and cloudy, but also 90 degrees, you get confused about what springtime is in any other part of the country. So in Texas, or at least the part of Texas that I live in, it goes...
This is the weekly weather report. She's been reverting to the weather now because there's nothing to talk about.
Winter, spring, immediately summer. So it's like months of winter, 2 solid weeks of a gorgeous springtime, and then immediately it's 100 degrees. And I'm not exaggerating. It is mid-April right now, and it's 90 outside. So I stupidly get locked into the idea that the rest of the country, or perhaps the rest of the world, is operating under the same situation. And like, I've forgotten how to travel. It's been so long because of COVID. I've definitely taken some trips, but I used to travel all the time and I felt like really good at it. And now I've just forgotten all the...
She said she was really good at traveling, but at one point, you know, in recent times, she's like, I hated traveling. All I wanted to do is be home with my bra off, and I just wanted to be home with my kids and cook them dinner. I hated traveling. Dave forced me to travel. Now she's like, I was so good at traveling. Can't keep the story straight.
Rules. I've forgotten to check travel before I go. I've forgotten how long it takes to get to the airport. I've forgotten it all. there's 2 planes that I got to take to get there because it's all the way up top here in the US. And I'm telling you, it was in the 90s in Texas, and I land in Boise, Idaho, and it is snowing. Not cold, not a crispy spring day, snowing. And I didn't have a jacket. I was dressed like a total jackass. I was wearing a Texas tuxedo. I had denim on top. I had denim on bottom. I looked cute. Nothing.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Nothing warm. Wow, Rachel, get it together. I land and it's snowing, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Okay. And if you don't know this about me, I am always cold. Always. So now I'm like, well, this is where I freeze to death in the middle of Idaho. And I just felt like such a dummy. Like I showed up at this conference that I was speaking at, and everyone else is wearing like full on jackets and it's winter time, and I'm the jackass who just came from the airport with no coat, with nothing. And I had all these plans. The last time I was in Idaho, I went on a run. It was gorgeous and nature and the whole thing. And so I thought I was going to be able to do that again. And I brought my running gear. No, I did not go outside. I did not go anywhere. I did my speech. Shout out to that crew. They were great. Did my speech, went back to the hotel, got in bed and watched The Gilded Age, and went to sleep, woke up the next day and flew out. Speaking of, have you guys watched The Gilded Age?
No.
I will say at first glance, I was like, I'm going to love this, right? So it's Julian Fellows who did Downton.
Did I lie? Did I lie to you, everybody? This was boring.
Abbey. And I am a sucker for any sort of historical fiction. Let's figure it out. I watched like 10 minutes and didn't love. So this was, when it first came out, I was kind of like, I'm a little bored. I don't really get.
Am I the only cold person?
Am I the only hippie?
Yes.
Whatever. And then recently, don't laugh at me, but for the very first time ever, I downloaded shows to watch on an airplane. Like, I know I'm 1,000 years old, but I never really knew how to do that. Welcome to the future. And so I downloaded shows and I was like, oh, I'm going to give this show another chance. So I downloaded all of the episodes and it is so good. I am curious if you guys have watched it too. I really, really liked it. No. And I liked it because it's about sort of the Victorian age here in America, which was, if you don't read historical romance, like I have read 1,000 historical romance novels, you may not know that there was a period of time in American history, and honestly in English history as well, where we sort of had this old money versus new money thing that was happening. So you had these people who had been in power forever. They had come over, their ancestors had come from England.
So Dave versus Rachel. Old money versus new money. Dave's family has money, at least some money, and Rachel's new money. So she relates to this. She's relatable. That's the only thing I'm pulling from this. Other than that, it's like, oh my God. I guess it's just not meant for me anymore. Like, I used to be boss babing it up, trying to take over the world. Now I'm just not into that anymore. So maybe the content is just no longer meant for me. Maybe. Or maybe it's just not meant for anybody.
They, built New York City and they were the titans of industry and they had all of this old money. And then you had these kind of up and comers, right? So names you'll know, like you had like the Rockefellers, or I'm spacing on the other people, but they had all of this money, but they were new money. And it's sort of like old money versus new money. And the old wealthy people didn't want to let the new people into society. And so there was like drama. So basically the premise of the show is like old money New York versus new people. So there's a family that's like made their way up and they're trying to break into society, and it's a whole thing, and I loved it. And one of the best reasons to love it is Christine Baranski. Girl. So if you like Downton Abbey and if you like the Dowager Countess, Christine Baranski is this show's version of the Dowager Countess, like being sassy, saying hilarious things.
I'm very grateful. So you should be.
At first you think she's going to be like too conservative and you're going to hate her, but Julianne Fellows does such a good job of like giving you the sort of fullness of a character so that even though they're being a jerk, you end up kind of loving them. So all of that to say, big fan, watched the whole darn thing, watched the whole season, and I think you'll like it if you like historical things. So that's what is happening in terms of what I've viewed lately. Also, since we were talking about Idaho, since we're talking about being on planes, since we're talking about travel, there's no more masks on planes, guys. I
will never stop wearing a mask on a plane. Also, if you don't want to be talked to, wear a mask on a plane. She made a whole episode about how she hates talking on planes. The best thing to do is put a mask on. Problem solved.
Was flying home from Nashville yesterday, and I was with my boyfriend, and we were waiting to get on the plane.
I like when she mentions the boyfriend within 3 minutes. Under a minute's like top tier. It's just under 10 minutes, so we'll give it to her. But unnecessary boyfriend mention at 9 minutes.
And all of a sudden he looked at me and he was like, wait, is there no mask mandate? It hadn't even occurred to us that half the people in the airport were not wearing masks. So I don't know if you've traveled at all during this time period, but I've been traveling kind of throughout COVID. So I've been wearing a mask on a plane the whole time. It is what it is. I don't like it, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, these are the rules, and
I like
I'm following
it.
the rules. So for like 18 months.
I like it. I don't like it other places, you know. I don't love it. Like, I definitely didn't like it at the gym and other places, but at the airport, I'm thrilled. I like it on the plane. I like it in the airport. I don't want anyone coughing on me, COVID or not. I like the masks on the airport.
Months or however long it's been, I've been like, dang, I cannot wait until we don't have to wear masks on planes. Masks on planes, masks in the airport, da-da-da-da. Half the people around me are not wearing a mask, but I mean, that's a whole other psychological thing that we need to deal with. Like, why didn't I notice that nobody was wearing a mask? Like, why is it more normal to me to see people in masks? But whatever. We're both like, oh my gosh, we don't have to wear a mask on the plane. And we've been waiting for this moment forever. But y'all, we wore a mask on the plane still. Because I wasn't like, we both looked at each other and was like, we're not emotionally prepared for this. We just like, because it was unexpected or just like so stupid, I know. But we were like, no, we're just going to, maybe it was like one final flight. But because we weren't prepared, we're like, we're going to just go ahead and wear these masks. So, I hate wearing a mask on a plane because I could, but I don't wear any makeup if the mask is involved. And there's something nice. Like, I don't tend to wear a lot of makeup in life, but I do like, I like a little bit of cover up, right? A little, like a tinted moisturizer. But if you're going to have a mask on and it's like so bad for your skin and so bad for your pores, I don't do it. So I'm pretty pumped that like my face gets to be free again. We'll see how that goes. But I was really excited. Also, I got to stop saying also. Jack has to edit out so many alsos every single week. But you know what? You're not here, Jack. If you were here, then you could be guiding me in this. But it's kind of like you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You're going to have to edit this one. And it's going to have a lot of like so and also. You guys.
But also.
Have you seen Sing 2?
No. I haven't seen this. Okay, I really am getting bored. Let's just skip ahead a little bit.
I'm already emotional. The end's so sweet.
Still talking about the movie. She put her kid in there. I don't like that. Let's skip that.
Music just makes me really happy. Some elevator music. Once below, if you are listening to this on podcast, you might want to go for your babies or whatever your day looks like. But we do the same thing over.
Okay, and then she's giving advice about what she already gave advice about before, which is go get your Starbucks at a different Starbucks to experience new things in your life. That's it. Bored. And, okay, she says one thing. Hold on. Let me go back. She talks about the songwriting. That's what everyone really wants to hear about, the songwriting.
and over.
She mentions it briefly in the background.
Over and over. And there's beauty in that, right? Like when a habit is really good for us, there's beauty in us being able to repeat it. The issue is if you're constantly doing the same things, I think it's very hard to be conscious of this present moment. And I'm sure you've heard it said a million times that we have power in our present, meaning the past has happened, the future is yet unknown. All we really have is this present moment. And if you don't ever step out of the regularly scheduled programming, then you don't really have to think. It's like if you've ever read Jim Quick and he's teaching you how to sort of make your non-dominant hand to brush, it makes your brain what you're doing. It's impossible to brush your teeth with your, if you're going to dinner with your girlfriends, if you're going on a date night, if you're going to go get coffee, challenge yourself to try something new. Take a different route to work. It's a really simple way to be present in this moment, to see new things or think new things. I'm learning to play guitar right now. I'm writing songs. I'm going out to Nashville and I'm writing songs with musicians out there. And it's not to like have some big career or make a big change in my life. It's because I think there's something really powerful about challenging my brain and you challenging your brain to do something new. It's impossible to learn something new without being pulled into this present moment. And when we're in our present moment.
So the only morsel of interest in that whole thing was that she's not changing her whole career to be a Nashville songwriter. Allegedly. So I saw that Heidi did a live too today about her challenge. I started watching it, and again, it was similar to Rachel in the sense of like the first 10 minutes were her like, okay, let me get everything ready. Oh, okay, oh my gosh, let me get ready. Oh, okay, close the door, open the door, close the door, open the door. And I got bored, so maybe we'll watch that at a different day. Maybe we should just wrap. Maybe the Hollisville is closed. Like, Hollisville is getting boringer and boringer as time goes on. We're going to have to start, covering, like, Teal Swan and more outrageous people on this channel so that we have more storylines to follow. I mean, Rachel and Dave and Heidi are always going to be my favorites no matter what of all time. But, eventually we must move forward or else we'll never find the answers.
What happened to dinosaurs?
Like, whenever she answers that, then we're done. Okay? Dave will let us know.
I will slowly buy you a boat.
One more time. Just the song to wrap us up.
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
Choose Sadness merch, still available. This is how I end every show. Choose Sadness merch, still available. In the link below. 2 people sent me pictures today of their merch, and I'm going to add it to the slideshow. So if you have merch, and if you don't see it, if you sent me a photo already and you haven't seen it in the slideshow, send it to me again, please. I'm sorry if you still have the photo. Because some of them were like temporary ones that were like 24 hours. I didn't screenshot them. So some people sent me stuff that I didn't capture. So if you still have it and you'd like to be included in the slideshow that I play during these live streams, I would love it. Secondary thing, Cringefluencers. If you haven't explored Cringefluencers over there, Thursdays, Camelia and I go live, and we have a very we deep dive into different people and topics. Like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about The Secret and the person who Rhonda Byrne, who created The Secret. We're going to be deep diving into her, and I've covered The Secret at least once before on my channel, where we talked about Dr. Okay, very loosely saying Dr. Joe Vitale, who is the first self-help singer, and this is that channel. If you want to watch it, we talked about Natasha Granzino. That was a nightmare, and Jenna Kutcher. We did 2 deep dives. We did Marie Forleo. We did some Rachel stuff. We did some Tony Robbins stuff. You should definitely check it out. It's a fun channel. What was I saying? I was saying something about somebody. Was it Instagram? I don't know. I sidetrack myself sometimes. if you haven't followed me on Instagram, that's probably the best place. I used to be bigger on Twitter. Now I don't really go on Twitter very much. But I've been posting a lot here lately, and it's a good time. And I think I would love to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram because Heidi Powell has more followers on her Show Up conference than I do on Instagram, and it's making me feel insecure. So she's posted a lot since 2 days ago. Heidi Powell. I'm just looking for fun. Oh, see, here's the live stream I was telling you about. She just talks about stuff.
There's people in the middle. There's people who can't work out, who are there for the other things. There are people who are just there to be a part of something.
I don't know. Bored. Here's another thing. This is old. This thing, someone was talking about on Reddit today. Her hair's different. This is an old video that she put up recently about doing your inner thigh workout. Because look at her hair. I mean, you can't tell in this one because her hair's like pulled back, but her hair's different. Anyways, all right. Send me your pictures of merch. Buy merch if you'd like. Sob Gang, Choose Sadness. I'll have more streams. One day I'll schedule them in advance. Today's not that day. Today's not that day, and tomorrow probably won't be either, but one day we'll figure out all this stuff. Okay. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for being here. It was super fun. I will talk to you soon. I don't love you because I don't know you. I ain't doing this because I'm not Rachel Hollis and or Heidi Powell, so don't expect that. And we'll let the viewers, the Choose Sadness Sob Gang, play us out. Peace. Bye.